I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Vagina. My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Why, thank you, you lovely audience. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler, coming to you from Nerdrotic, and this is Chris Gore's chair with a shirt on it right now. Chris Gore is off to go get some coffee, so I just decided to, what the hell, let's start out on time. Let's shock the audience and say hello to everybody. John Olson, welcome. Gin and Boot, welcome. The Mime from Hell. All mimes are from hell. Those are some red pants, brother.
Yeah, my workout pants.
We got a new member. No, member for 3 months, not new. Member for 3 months. There they are. It is Burn Wayne 103 or BRN. Hi, Chris. How are you? Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner, everybody.
I am doing great. I wish I had my paddle. So every time you say something, I can say whether it's true or false. I'll just show my paddle, and
I have a paddle.
You have a paddle?
I do. Hang on. Hold the fort.
No, okay.
I have a paddle.
I watched Trump's speech, and literally, if he said he's in favor of puppies, they would be against it. It was weird. And that kid with brain cancer who became like an honorary Secret Service agent, he wants to be a cop.
So this paddle,
he has had 13. Sorry, I'm talking to the audience. I didn't realize you can't hear me. Okay, he had a kid last night that has brain cancer.
Yes,
a survivor.
Yes,
I mean,
I saw it all.
Who is against that? I was
evil people who are just about their team, about their party, who are not about country or American citizens. They're just about winning, maintaining their influence. And it's that certain percentage of the population, Chris, that just has a fucking gene in their body that will not allow them to admit that they were wrong. So
we elect all these people. Get to work, fix these problems, cut the bloat, solve problems, be accountable. Like every one of us who works in, just the private sector. I'm done with this.
Maybe clap for a kid with cancer.
Yes.
Could you do that? If you can't do that, then we can't rely you to do shit in Washington. And They made themselves look like freaking like soulless idiots, these soulless idiots and demons that we think they are. I mean, I was the worst of the worst in Hollywood. How evil, how dark does your spirit have to be to do that? You can't even lift your hands and pretend to clap
for a kid. And I mean, like anything with kids like that, I get like a little choked up.
No.
I get like, cause I think about my own kids, and fortunately never had like a health tragedy like that, but it is, it's my nightmare as a parent. So watching that, I'm like, how do you this is why, like, look, you and I are old. Let's not lie to the audience. We're not going to lie.
We're old.
I'm exploring cataract surgery.
So am I. People have been like peer pressuring me into doing it. This is way different than, man, smoke some weed. What are you, square?
Oh my
now
God.
It's like, get cataract surgery. What are you, square?
Oh God. And anyway, so I'm thinking about it. We'll talk because maybe we can do it together. It'll be fun. But like
a double date cataract.
Right, sure. Yeah, like a couples massage. We'll get couples cataracts.
We should totally vlog it. With that little vlog music in the background.
But I've been around long enough paying attention, right? I'm not a political guy, but I pay attention because it's my duty as a citizen of this
Yes.
country to
Yes.
pay attention. I subscribe to Newsweek magazine since I was a teenager up through like, not too long, well, probably like a decade ago. And I would read it cover to cover. I keep myself informed. I've seen presidents, I've seen things go down, seen a lot of things. It's all been like being awakened from the Matrix. Now is how I feel. And a certain percentage of the country is not there yet, right? And the obstructionism, I'm done with it. We put you there to do your job. I don't get it. Like, you can debate the issues, but oh my God, I'm just, anyways, how's it going?
No, I do as well. I'm not going to break down every geopolitical thing in the planet, and I'm not going to pretend to know about like how deep the conflict goes in both of those regions where there's wars going on. But I do pay attention to what's going on, especially in this country. And what I saw the speech yesterday, I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
and the Democrats had their paddles. So they look like a bunch of dipshits, and this is why they lost. This is why they lost. I say this is an independent. I am it. Do you see that clip going around from White Lows? I've never watched a second of that show except for that clip.
I haven't either.
Where the three women are talking, and one of them talks about being an independent from Texas, and they don't really portray her in that scene. I don't know the context outside of it as a dipshit. She's like, I go to church. These people are cool. No, did you vote for Trump? And then she doesn't really answer, but the scene is interesting coming from an HBO show, which certainly leans a certain way. We all know that. But the cultural shift is happening, and now they're being left behind. And it's so funny. I was watching a Complete Unknown to prepare for our Oscar watch party.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Listen, here's my problem with it. Here's my fundamental problem with A Complete Unknown. Timothy Chalamet is not it. He's actually really, really good in it.
He is good.
And I walked away from the movie going, I'm not a big fan of Bob Dylan's music, but I kind of like Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
I kind of like his attitude, because a lot of the protesters and shit really like wanted to use him for their protests. And he certainly was part of it, but he never really was that like a true believer, like all those people. He told him kind of to fuck off. And I kind of appreciate that. So, but the rest of the movie is all like the fucking 60s again, and commies, and like, it's fun, like being against the war. Fine. I would be against the Vietnam War too. But, just the self-flagellating fucking boomers. Sorry, boomers. There's some good ones in the chat.
Yeah.
Just one more movie about the effing 60s. As a Gen Xer, stop. Please stop. Can this be the last movie about the 60s ever made?
Well,
I want an executive order from Donald Trump. No more movies or documentaries about the fucking boomers and the 60s. You had your time. It's gone way too long. Go away. Go retire.
This movie might have been, it's almost out of time. Like, it could have come out in the 90s. You know what I mean? And it did make me appreciate Bob Dylan, whose music I've never really gotten into.
Yeah.
I mean, I was more of a Velvet Underground guy when it comes to music of that era. So, anyways, so yeah, it just, last night I felt sorry. For once, I was like, wow, the Democrats are so out of step.
Yeah.
They don't see that.
I mean,
they don't see most people in the country are in favor of cutting federal government bloat, are in favor of ending wars and funding all these things around the world, in favor of maybe helping people in Ohio or North Carolina. Like, let's help our people.
Well, it's that mentality. It's we're not gonna vote for this help because we don't like the person who's offering the help. Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy. So
it's always been insane. But like Hollywood, to shift it to Hollywood,
please, yes.
They're in the same boat, Chris.
Yes.
They just refuse to shift. They're being left behind. They, like the Democratic Party, Hollywood has lost the working man and woman, which they used to heavily rely on. and they become more elitist and like track back to all independent film, even as recently as 15 years ago, they were made for the working man. That's what they were. And Quentin Tarantino said it best. Like, this was the working man's form of entertainment, something they can afford. You know?
So look at, someone should do a study, but I can just, because I have my brain, or most of it, I'll just say most of it. Who are the characters that were heroes? Right? You mentioned a very astute observation that Star Wars is about a trucker, a farmer, and a war vet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, proxies for that, right?
Yeah.
And it's awesome observation. In the 70s, heroes were, you know, everyone from like cops to working people, blue collar people. The Clint Eastwood series where he's with a monkey, Clyde the orangutan, which I can pronounce orangutan.
Any which way but loose. Come on,
yeah.
that is a legend. I love that movie.
Every
Right
which
there
way
in
you
Clyde.
can. He's a trucker. So like they, you know, heroes in the 70s were blue collar working people. Who are the heroes of today's movies? They're rock stars, influencers, prostitutes. Like, it's when you look at, just look at who the people are. Like,
at least the prostitutes have a respectable job.
Right. But I mean, even the substance, right? The substance, which I loved. I think she should have won for director. Demi was robbed. Mikey Mattis, like, it was a really good performance, not an Oscar worthy.
No,
I think the Oscars, because they expanded it to 10, it's too many movies that shouldn't be there.
Well, they need to release some movies. I mean, that helps. We're gonna get to that.
Sorry, hey,
Oscar.
Daredevil, huh?
We're gonna get to the Oscar talk a little bit later.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know people are over them, and that's the whole point. It's like that. Like, apathy has set in. The Oscars don't matter, and that's a good thing. That's the spoiler. That's a good thing. They don't fucking matter anymore. All right, so we're gonna be spoiler free. Oh, by the way, the paddle I was talking about.
Yes.
The spoiler paddle.
Oh, good.
So the spoiler paddle that you see, where are my media ass? That the one that comes up like this.
Oh,
that's where this comes from. It was made by an old member of the audience back. I don't think she likes me anymore. Viking bitch. So she made this for me because we used to spoil the crap. See, we started out like reviewing TV, and we'd spoil the crap out of everything. So I'd just put up my paddle if I started spoiling stuff. We're not gonna spoil stuff. Chat. I mean, I can't control you.
Well, we're not.
I can't control it. I'm not even gonna bother.
Can I give you like a pastiche of what's to come, but without?
Yes,
spoiling?
yes. I'll let you guys know. Well, I'm gonna do a full video, and like,
of course,
today, and it'll be out tomorrow. So I'm gonna record it today. It'll be out tomorrow. But okay, so we'll start with you, Chris. We're gonna stick with the first 2 episodes right now. What were your thoughts on those first 2 episodes? Overall thoughts on the first 2 episodes? I can't even talk right now. I had a stroke.
It's the best Marvel Disney Plus series. The bar is low.
Mm-hmm.
I've liked pieces of, I think WandaVision was probably my favorite, or the first half of it anyways, before it went off the rails. But yeah, it's the best thing, and I've seen it all. So now, it's gritty, it's R-rated. The characters, it feels like a show for adults. And even when Matt Murdock he's Matt Murdock, not he's Daredevil for part of episode 1, a good part, and then it's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's still Daredevil. The demon is still inside of him. The stuff with Fisk is, I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio in that role. He's so good. He is so good. See, I'm trying to stay spoiler free. I don't know what to say.
No, it's okay. We can stick to performances and tone, and that's good.
They got the tone right. It's solid. My only complaint early on is they really are pushing the DEI side characters. And
yes.
It's sort of like
Kirsten. So Kirsten is a DEI side character. We're not. I don't want to tell you what her character is because that would kind of spoil it. Totally unnecessary. Brings nothing to the show.
Yep.
The actress ain't that great. She ain't likable. and she's a Mark Waid character. So yeah, she's a Mark Waid character. So you could tell, we were told that a lot of the first half of the show they had to rework what they had shot in the comedy and made it serious. And the like, respect to them. There, it is not a comedy. This is I said it last night. This is the most earnest thing Disney Marvel has done since Infinity War. Like, no joke. Again, the bar is really low, but there is a couple of characters. One of them's not so. One of them's fine. One of them's fine. You could tell that they're brought in for that. One of them I have no problem with. The other one is she's kind of annoying in a couple of scenes and takes me out of it. But like, this is easily, now it's only the first 2 episodes. We still have separate episodes to go. And I'm with Chris. I have liked bits and pieces of a couple of Disney Plus shows, but I'm telling you, across the board, aside from X-Men 97, it's all shit. It's all shit.
Same opinion on that.
All shit. This is not shit. This is it up to, it's not up to the quality of the Netflix show. It is not, particularly with dialogue, right? It's but it's still good. I'm not going to call it great. I liked, I did a watch party, and I think a lot more people like the second episode better than the first one. I like the first one more, but the second one's paced better, and it feels like a real TV show. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio fucking like nail it. Absolutely nail it. Like, totally nail it in their parts. They're great. Dodgy CGI. There's a little bit of dodgy CGI, which Netflix didn't do because they had to do everything practical, right? But I'd say slightly dodgy. But it is cool seeing Daredevil do things that they didn't do. Yeah, like he's like
flip around the building,
like
Spider-Man. The city's practically a character.
I think wire work might have worked better. That's just me. Probably been cheaper too.
It didn't bug me when you like the characters and the tone. Dodgy, you don't notice it as much. You don't
care.
It's like, it's bad. Yeah. But when something's other elements are bad and the CGI is bad, that's awful.
Why did Doctor Who work? Because they had engaging characters, good writing, and you ignored the paper mache and the tinfoil.
Right.
That was all over the place.
Has Doctor Who ever had good special effects? That's not why people.
I would say
writing and characters is why.
Moffat era, they had decent special effects. They did. Even in the RTD era, they were kind of really bad, but they were charming. These are fun. They're fine. And like, let's get this out of the way. The lack of Catholic iconography or any religious tone, that somebody who said that they probably just have never been to church and don't know what they're talking about. So is it as heavy as the Netflix series of him going into confession and stuff like that? No, but like they're paraphrasing Bible verses. The imagery is everywhere, including Daredevil looking at a church and hearing a prayer and landing in front of a stained glass window. I mean, like, it's all there. It's all there. So that's not true at all. Like, the Catholicism is there. Biggest disappointment was, and this knocked it down like 2 points for me, was a quick little scene. And I know what they were trying to do. So I'm going to spoil this for you, but it's nothing compared to the plot. It's a mention of Echo.
Oh, right.
They mention Echo. So in that scene where they're sitting down and chatting with each other in the diner, which is the best scene.
Oh, it's so good.
Matt goes, "Didn't you get shot in the eye?" Because they ask each other if they had kids. They have no kids. He's all, "Well, I tried to foster one, but that didn't work out. Didn't she shoot you in the eye?" And then they go, ha, 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 and then they don't talk about it again. So I see what they were trying to do. They were laughing it off.
Right.
Like they were like, so
it didn't bug me because it was almost like an FU to that show.
It was
in a way.
Still would, but like, I don't know if everybody's going to look at it that way. And I would have just like, okay, 10 out of 10 for trying, minus several million for good thinking, though. Quoting Zavod Beeblebrox. So that's the only thing. Like, be wary of that. That happens. As far as Wilson Fisk being mayor, a lot of people are gonna compare it to Trump. this is from the comics prior to Trump taking office. So they're taking from a comic series that came out in 2015. So it was before anybody even thought he had a chance. So the mayor, and like Lex Luthor's been mayor before too in the past. They've had villains be mayors.
Penguin.
Yeah. So like they did that before, and it depends on Charles Soule, but his run. But it depends on like how much they lean into it. Like they don't really say a party or anything like that. The only thing they do is put an American flag on the suit. We can maybe assume. I didn't really get that vibe, but there is still potential. Not saying there isn't. Chris has seen the rest, so, and I haven't. But overall, ooh, man, I can't even. Ooh, the tone of the first episode. I mean, it's all out there.
Well, I'll just say it was originally 18 episodes. They cut it down not to 9, and the show does what a good TV show must do. And Star Wars never did well, which was I get to the end of an episode and I have to see what happens next.
Yes,
I'm invested and I have to see what happens next. And I will say, without spoilers, the way the series ends, you're dying for the next season.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Does Wilson Fisk, because say a lot of people were just arguing with me about it, and like you're entitled to your opinion. I think there's great potential to see him as Trump, but as it stands right now in the first 2 episodes, Wilson Fisk would make a great mayor for New York.
Yeah, actually, you need a Wilson Fisk, and well, some things are coming.
So what's happening is we have the hero and the villain on a parallel journey, trying to lead better lives and fighting their true nature.
Yes,
we've seen it before in comic books all the time. So, but if you're going to say if there's shades of that, sure. But are they taking away from the Wilson Fisk character to make him a Trump allegory? It doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't feel like that. I think you read into it because of what's in the zeitgeist, whatever, but they're both wearing masks in public effectively.
Yes.
That's what's happening. And it's a great, and I will say this, having seen all 9,
okay,
there aren't really any bloat episodes. There's filler episodes, or they tell you a side quest and you don't care. There aren't any. There is one episode 5. I'll say it's sort of a standalone episode, which I told you who's in it. It implies heavily that there's a cameo that's coming. It never comes. It doesn't come.
But it feels like it should have.
It feels like it should have, because they set it up. They literally set it up. They episode 5, please pay attention to. It could have been great. It was like a great. Can I put up? Do you have the paddle?
We can't spoil episode 5.
I won't say it then. Anyways, it's a really potential to be a great standalone episode, not filler, that's kind of ruined by a side character from the MCU that why was this person there? And we know why he was there. I say he. And
he's in the trailer. You could say it's Kamala Khan's dad. He's in the trailer.
Okay, Kamala Khan's dad is in that episode and heavily implied that things are going to happen. Anyways, I stop.
No, as far as structure, you're absolutely right. Like, at least with the first 2 episodes, it ends like a TV show.
Yeah.
It ends on a cliffhanger. Each episode needs to end on a cliffhanger. And with a lot of the D+ Star Wars stuff, like you said, particular, just like bleeds.
Or they bleed, or they like end where you're like, I don't even care. Like, what? They don't know how. The people who are in charge know how to do TV. And cutting from 18 to 9, so smart, because so many of the Disney Plus shows feel like 2-hour movies padded to like 6 episodes or 12 episodes of a show, right? I can't tell you how many of the Disney Plus shows I started and then was like, well, it's going to go off the rails. And I've watched some reviews and a lot of people saying that, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'll just say this, I too was waiting. It doesn't happen. So it's solid through, and it builds to really a solid ending that makes you cannot wait for next season. And I'll just leave it there. And that's not a spoiler. It's just,
no, it's not. It didn't give any specifics. Spoilers are specifics. You can talk about tone. In the first 2 episodes, they're not like perfect, right? Nobody's going to say they're perfect at all. But they are, again, easily the best 2 things in live action that Disney Marvel's done on Disney Plus. Right. And you can tell that they at least tried. It is a bummer that Stephen S. DeKnight is not like writing the show. I don't know if they bothered talking to him or if he said no. I don't know what's behind that, but it would have been great to bring him back because his dialogue is so freaking good. So good. Just having rewatched Daredevil. Remember, Daredevil season 1 made for $40 million. 13 episodes, by the way. And none of them feel like filler. Love that stick episode, season 1. Holy shit, that one's good. But listen, balls and strikes here. I'd say, if you want to combine both episodes, I'd say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 on those. And it's trying to capture the Netflix tone, and this is where the problems come in. Is like we're talking when was Daredevil season 3? 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're going on 6 years between a series that was insanely popular, that people loved, that should have never been canceled, but it was canceled by Disney because of D+. And the only reason we have this back is because of a strike and pure desperation. It wasn't like, oh, we've always had the plan to bring this back. It was, damn, we got to get the band back together last minute because we started to film a Daredevil series and it was a comedy and it was crap. And the strike gave them an excuse to reshoot everything they could, bring in new characters, bring back Foggy and Karen, who weren't supposed to be in it at all. And apparently they're in season 2. That's been announced. So yeah, shocking first episode.
I mean, you got to admit that first 15 minutes hits hard. It's great.
It's really good. Some people didn't like it though. And I can understand why they're mad.
Oh, Epic Mike. I mean, I heard his rant on G&G Daily. I mean, that's fine if he doesn't like it. I thought it reminded me, it felt like the comics, it was just,
it does.
I mean, Daredevil's also a different kind of character. He's got a sort of tragic, humble origin.
He's the punching bag of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I've heard you say that. That makes sense.
That's what he is. He loses a lot. But it's the fact that and it's kind of like X-Files, it's kind of like Buffy, it's like and Angel especially, is they know they're fighting a losing battle, but they still fight.
Yeah.
There's something badass about that. But we'll see how the rest goes. But I was fine with it. Okay. So I know what Epic Mike's mad about, but let's just say, without saying being specific, things like this happen in the comics, and it's a comic book story. We'll just say that. So don't look for too much finality.
Yeah.
Don't look for too much finality.
Yeah.
That's all. It's a comic book story. And so I thought it was fine. They didn't shit the bed. Still could. We got 7 episodes to go, and we'll see. But I now, is this gonna move the needle for Disney Marvel? Is this gonna like radically change public perception of them? I don't think so, because it's a Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people are watching it. I'm sure it'll be probably one of their highest rated ones. That would be my guess. But honestly, outside of Disney Plus, how many people are actually watching it? We don't know. And they could throw up all the excuses in the world, but let's keep in mind that shows like Landman and 1923 that just came out, which are on Paramount Plus, which is a streamer that's a lot smaller than Disney Plus, get a lot more eyes on them and do a lot better. So yeah. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. If you know, we can get in the spoiler territory like as episodes go on, but we're still early on and it just came out last night and most people probably haven't even seen it.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you think of episode 5, which will air around St. Patrick's Day. So my people, I'm part Irish, so
there you go.
I can say it's why I'm wearing green today. Yeah, it takes place St. Patrick's Day. I loved and hated episode 5. So I want to talk to you about that when it comes out.
Oh, we will. I'll be doing my watch parties too.
Yeah.
For the members, we'll be doing the watch party. Somebody's recovering from cataract surgery now. It's awesome. Is it awesome to be recovering?
Hell yeah. Okay, yeah. So I went in for the consultation. I just had a lot of questions and I got to pay for it out of pocket. It's not gonna kill me, but it's not cheap. So yeah, Gare, are you a candidate? Sorry to side quest this.
Yeah, I am a candidate. I am definitely a candidate because are
they saying, hey, you should get it?
Within the next few years. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Eddie, he's like, talk about Foggy. It's already out there. It's already out there for hardcore fans. Is it out there for everybody though, Eddie? I don't know. My friend, horses are fake for 100 Swedish krona. My friend Game Venture to the Vial is in need of attention. Please check it out and talk about it nonstop everywhere and buy multiple copies of it. And I'll personally give you a kiss on the.
Okay. Venture to the Vial. Cool.
Venture to the Vial. If you, I buy one. If you didn't give me a kiss.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
If you didn't give it, that'd be fine. But yeah, we'll see what reactions are, and they're going to be like, for one, Disney Marvel doesn't have like the best reputation right now, and I think the marketing has been great for Daredevil. I think the bar is low for Marvel but high for Daredevil, and the fact that I've said if they keep it in the realm of the Netflix series, that'd be probably a win for them. But we'll see how things play out.
Yeah,
we'll see how things play out.
I'll say I'm pretty satisfied with quibbles, and they're mainly about these side characters. They shoehorn in. They don't ruin it, but they also don't need to be.
They don't need to be there.
And there is a conversation. Oh God. I'm like the man who knows too much. I'll shut up then. There's just some lines where you're like, that make me go, but overall, it's
is it current day or is it after the blip? What MCU year is it? It is current. As far as I know, it is like current time post blip that they don't mention but it's definitely in the MCU. Because they mentioned Spider-Man in passing. They mentioned Punisher in passing, who's going to be in it in one of Kingpin's speeches as he's running for mayor. So that's, as far as I know, that's where they are.
Yeah.
What's this? It was announced today both Karen and Foggy are in season 2. Yes. For $2. Shit. Should we talk about Foggy? I think, does everybody know about Foggy?
Maybe ask the chat yes or no. Why?
Chat, yes or no. Should we talk about Foggy?
Y's in the chat for yes, N for no. What's it looking like?
We got a yes. We got a yes. We have $1.49 from Margie M. Thank you, Margie. Okay, everybody's that now. I got to know. No, yes.
Well, if you're no, you should probably tune out. It looks like it's more wise.
I'll put up the spoilers thing. All right,
You have
so
your
we're
paddle?
gonna discuss Foggy for a couple minutes, then we'll come back. I've got my paddle.
Okay.
All right, because I mean, it's really out there now.
Yeah.
It's really out there. Foggy dies. This is the spoiler I've known for a long time. This is Charlie Cox alluded to this, going, I'm not sure this is a good decision.
Really?
Yeah. And I've conflicted about it because the scene is really good. Really good. Deborah, what's her name? Deborah Ann Wall. She's so fucking good in that scene.
By the way, she was in True Blood, and you know
yes, she was.
that her boyfriend is blind.
Oh, really?
I know him. He's a regular dude in the nerd space, and I've met Deborah Ann Wall. She is the sweetest, nicest person. So, like at cons, I've met her and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is blind. He wasn't born blind, he went blind, and just from things that can happen to your eyes. And so yeah, she is an awesome person. So
yeah. So Foggy
Anyways,
dies, one of my favorite characters, one of the foundations of the first three Daredevil seasons, their friendship. And yes, it's been announced that he's going to be in season 2. So you're like, how is that possible? Because it's pretty clear that he gets killed by Bullseye. And Daredevil and Bullseye have a pretty good fight. Like Daredevil's peppered with knives. He's got just knives sticking.
It's so cool. You're like, oh God.
And they kind of do it. They do it again. They do a reverse, Daredevil 181 when Daredevil goes after Bullseye kills Elektra. Sorry, spoilers for Daredevil 181 that came out 40 years ago. And puts him in the hospital again, beats the crap out of him. So Bullseye survives, which I'm glad because they need to bring him back sometime. But so Foggy being dead, is he dead permanently? Well, here's in the comic books, Foggy fakes his death. So maybe they do that. They do a federal witness protection program thing, and Foggy fakes his death. I don't know how they could do that. Would be pretty convincing fake because it's pretty clear he's dead. He gets shot like through the back, out his gut. And then there's this fight in the bar, and it's like what they did try to do it as one cut, but you can tell where they cheated. They have somebody like walk across the camera and they close some doors, but it looks like it's one cut.
It's pretty impressive, you gotta say.
But that's how it starts out. So but if he's coming back in season 2, it's either going to be flashbacks or they just do that. I mean, remember, it's a comic book show.
Or it's the multiverse and it's Foggy.
Oh God, that's terrible. I'd rather have him stay dead at that point.
But he has a nose piercing and purple hair.
It's fucking terrible. Oh God. So we'll see what happens. We get to see Muse is going to be a villain. I think you pretty much figure out who he is in one of the first 2 episodes. He's walking around. They show him a couple of times, like his back, and he's doing a mural of the Kingpin. Muse is a pretty good villain from the comics. So we'll see how they do. That's it. So like it's a bold move doing this with Foggy, and it's gonna just piss off a lot of people. Like piss them off. And remember, like him and Karen Page were both supposed to be dead with the original one, and they weren't even going to be in it at all. And I don't know how much Karen is in this. Does she come back later?
Yes, but she's
Okay.
gone. She's gone for most of it, but she comes back when it's. I'll say this: things come full circle. Like, why Foggy? Why and who hired?
Yeah, I
Doing
imagine
that?
because they really go into the White Tiger story after that. So
Yeah. So all I'm saying, things pay off and come full circle by the final episode, which is I will talk then.
yes,
So I know we're in spoilers,
yes.
but I'm not going to spoil that far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows about Foggy pretty much. But yeah, we're done talking about spoilers. And it's I'm gonna get into it in my full review. So there's a lot of little nuggets from Daredevil stories. Some are good, some are not good. Like putting anything Mark Waid in there, I am fundamentally against.
Yeah.
Fundamentally against. But yeah, the White Tiger, he's in the trailer, so you know he's part of the story. And the guy who played him like died of cancer. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, they gave him a little dedication before the first but yeah, I think the White Tiger stuff was pretty good.
Yeah.
And
did you notice like the sort of Boondock Saints interviews?
yes,
It seemed very Boondock Saints inspired.
very much so.
Am I
No,
okay.
no,
Okay.
no. It was very Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And I think people were kind of like during my watch party, like that threw me off a little bit. And I'm like, it feels like they used that to patch up what they had shot before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To the new stuff they shot.
Yeah.
To the new stuff they shot.
It was fine. It didn't bug me. It was like,
No.
they lifted. It was inspired by. It was pretty on the nose, but not in a bad way. It was like a little bridging mechanism, and that's through the whole series, by the way. And it's not overused. It's fine. It's like a reset next scene. You know, get the temperature of the city, because the city is a character in a way, especially Hell's Kitchen. So, you want to answer?
Oh,
that?
what's the Mark Waid beef? Good question. Because there's probably some deep lore.
Ooh.
Mark Waid, excuse me, I got a cough. Mark Waid is a comic book writer, who used to be, I think, really good, but behind the scenes, he's always been kind of a nut. And he pisses a lot of people off. He's a bit neurotic. But he was he was one of those creatives back in 2016, 17, 18 that was going after fans, like literally, you know, had major TDS. And you could have your TDS if you want to like argue about policy, but he would go after fans. And that was the start of a lot of clapback that really was during the customer movement portion of Comicsgate. And he was a pretty big symbol of that ire from the paying customer who are like, hey, we just want to enjoy comics. And, you know, he would just go on these little screeches and rants at the time. And it eventually like hurt his career. I think he crawled back to DC now, and who cares? He's done some good stuff in the past, but like honestly, his Daredevil run was terrible. And no, I'm not a big fan of the human being, Mark Waid, because he's one of those creatives who contributed in the destruction of the comic book industry, which is a shadow of its former self, and it's running on fumes. It's running on gimmicks. And it's because the talent, you know, it's being a comic book writer, a well-known writer and artist, gives a lot of them this false sense of being like gods, because they go to cons, man. People line up, people freaking love them. But you walk down the street, you wouldn't recognize Mark Waid from anybody. So it gives them this false inflated ego that they really, really believe in. And Mark Waid's kind of the worst case. He's just generally an asshole to paying customers. And as a former comic shop owner, that used to, and this goes way back. You know, Gail Simone first time I got like a suspension from Twitter, I was ripping her for she had late comic books, but she was on Twitter all the time, and I just brought it up in a not so nice way. And this is while I was at the store. It's like, shut up and write your fucking comic or something like that.
Right.
And it does affect the comic shops because the customers would come in and go, I can't believe, and it's anecdotal, but like people see it and they're like, I'm not going to buy her comic anymore because she pissed me off.
Wow.
So that affects me. That affects employees. That affects the publisher. That affects everything. And do we really need to know what Gail Simone thinks about anything? I mean, okay, maybe you take her advice on like what restaurant to go to. She clearly likes to eat. Maybe we take advice on like what refrigerators to buy because she clearly likes a refrigerator. But political advice, anything else? No thanks. So that's the Mark Waid thing. But that's a long time ago. I don't even know what he's doing now.
I don't even remember like when I was reading comics, like knowing things about, I mean, all I knew is like people like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby served in World War II, and they would just stand up for like really common, beliefs, things everyone could get behind. I would read the Stan's soapbox. I was a member of FOOM.
Yes.
Does anyone know FOOM?
I've got some FOOM.
Friends of Old Marvel.
Of Old Marvel.
Oh, dude.
Jim Steranko was selling his FOOM. This was 20 years ago at Comic-Con, but the one with the Hulk on it, and he signed it. Hit on Melissa. It was great. Jim Steranko's fucking based. He's awesome. Love that guy.
Like they just, my recollection of people I revered in the world of comics were they espoused the values that reflected the heroes. So the heroes kind of were like a sort of the big version of them projected into a hero, right? Like from Kirby to Lee, and just got all of them at that time. Ditko, like just everybody sort of had this. And today it's this mishmash. And this is why Marvel can't really, it's hard for them to write heroes, because the people writing it, they're just remixing other shit they read, but with their own values. And they don't have it, but they're doing remixes of old shit. It's very sad to see.
It is, for lack of a better description, it is square peg in a round hole. That's people with no values or the opposite values try to like subvert the hero's journey and turn it into what? Well, I call it the hero's journey, but it can apply to men, which is we're going to just put a new skin on this character like Fortnite, and so I can see myself either a self-insert or and there's no journey to be had. They're just like, oh, I was great all along. It was just a patriarchy. It was just a patriarchy, Chris, that fucking patriarchy.
Yeah, but when you look at phase 4 and 5 of Marvel, it's so apparent. It's like just aimless, leading to nothing.
It's about nothing. That's why, I mean, that's a great question. And again, if you're skeptical about any of this and you saw it a different way, your opinion is welcome here. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But that's why the question was brought up, like, where are we in the MCU? I think that's a really good question. And the answer is, I don't know. I think it's current day. It's after Echo. I know it's after Echo. So yeah, fucking Echo did happen. That just irritates me. So if you didn't watch Echo, that's most of you. I'm going to spoil this, okay? Because you don't want to watch Echo. Marvel didn't even want to put Echo out, but it's out.
Echo will be in Secret Wars. I'm sure Daredevil, it's an all hands on deck. Every action figure and variants will be in Secret Wars, and it'll be ridiculous.
So Echo's powers, Echo's powers in the comics are essentially similar to the Taskmaster's, where she can echo your movements. That's why she could beat Daredevil, because she can anticipate them. So she's like a deaf Daredevil.
Deaf Devil.
like a deaf
That's
devil.
a better name, Deaf Devil.
She's also not part of the Choctaw Nation, so they made her.
Did you pronounce that correctly?
Choctaw girl,
Choctaw?
Choctaw
Choctaw?
Nation, the
Oh my
Choctaw
God.
Nation. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. And so they changed because I think she was like Navajo before. I
Right.
think I'm not sure. And they changed her powers instead of being kind of a mimic, mimicking powers. They made her into Native American or Indian Voltron, where she can draw on her ancestors who are all female and draw on all of their powers. And what are their powers? One of them can play the fucking ball game good or whatever. One of them was a good hunter, and she could also pass these powers on to like grandma and a niece or a cousin. I can't remember now. Wilson Fisk was a foster dad to her, but she tried to kill him. So he rounded up a posse to attack the Indians. He did have a meeting in a casino. People were giving me shit like Marvel went off the reservation for this one, but they were like way worse. It was just like Blue Beetle, dude. It's like they leaned into every stereotype, right? So so Kingpin rounds up a posse to take out the Injuns at the end, and Echo defeats him with her Voltron Indian powers. And is it by fighting? No. She reconnects him to his past childhood trauma, which was a story beautifully told and violently told in Daredevil, and just undoes it. So he goes through a little soul searching journey apparently for a couple years, and he's been gone away from Vanessa while she's been running the business, and he comes back and he wants to be a new man. Now, that sounds fucking terrible. What saves this is Vincent D'Onofrio's performance as Kingpin. You can tell Kingpin, the way he performs Kingpin correctly in Daredevil, is there is a monster trying to crawl out of his skin at any moment. He is like, he's on the verge of just like cutting your head off with a car door at any moment. But he keeps it cool most of the time. But it's just the thought of that make people fucking scared to death of this guy. That's why he's the fucking Kingpin. So, but the Echo thing is just fucking, come on. So stupid. And Marvel could claim they wanted to get rid of it all they want. They still put it out. I say it's a better idea, Chris, to because what happens, I mean, you know more than me. Right. There's contracts. They'll probably get sued. I'd say it's better to get sued and settle than put Echo out and put Ironheart out.
I mean, they have I mean, this is not an argument. We've all talked about it. The brand is diminished. It's in the midst of a turnaround, but it's like trying to do a 180 on a battleship in the ocean during a storm. It's slow and lurching. That's why this year will be a mixed bag. Can I ask you a question publicly? I shouldn't ask you.
Okay.
Did you hear anything about Fantastic Four?
I did.
I did too.
Yeah. I can read you what I heard.
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm
going to read you. I'm not going to say
this is your show. This is your show.
This is from Kevin Feige. Text me directly. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Me and Kevin go way back. We're good buds. I get to hear. Let me read it.
This is a person.
Okay.
Wait. Can you set
it up? You set it up.
This is the person who works at Marvel, not necessarily in a high position, but who's someone who saw Fantastic Four, who is also, by the way, a fan, maybe a super fan. I would say.
Super fan, super fan. Okay, and always has been his entire life,
or her entire life. We don't know.
Or her entire life. It's they them. He's non-binary. She's non-binary.
I'll say this: they are a fan. So, yes. So you heard something. I wonder if you heard the same things because I
probably
I asked follow-up questions.
I just want to preface this with the female Silver Surfer is an abomination.
Yeah,
It's an abomination. The Coming of Galactus is one of the greatest stories ever written in comics. To start out with this, I think is foolish. I think to introduce the world to Silver Surfer and it's not the real Silver Surfer, it's not Norrin Radd, is foolish, and it will bug the shit out of me, and there's no way it won't.
And you mentioned this story, it comes up a lot. I read that as a kid. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. When I put that down, it was like I read a novel.
Yes.
It was so emotional. Norrin Radd and Alicia, right? The drama there, the Watcher, the conclusion with the ultimate nullifier, like the sort of godlike nature of Galactus.
Yes.
Who, if they ever do a female Galactus or Galactus has a girlfriend, should be named Vaginas. Just a thought. Has it ever been designed?
They've done they've turned him into a human. Have you ever seen the human form of Galactus?
No,
yeah, they did that. They've done all kinds of crazy shit with Galactus.
Anyways, that story, like I remember putting it down and then reading it multiple times later.
Well, they show him in human form, by the way. Chat's gonna go, well, actually,
I will never see a movie that moves me or is as epic as the story I just read. Even it worked in everything about the Fantastic Four. The Yancey Street Gang is in it. Like there's so many great layers of
yes.
It was, I mean, it's just they'd gotten to the point where the characters were very defined, the world was defined, and they put them at the ultimate stakes. That story is so the impact it had. Now I read it in reprint form, but my God!
But there was 50 issues building up to that, right? Well, I mean, not necessarily, but 50 stories. So it's not something you start with. That's what I'm saying. It's like you've fully established who the Fantastic Four are, who their rogues gallery is, and then you just throw this fucking curveball at them.
Yeah,
and #1 comic magazine at the time, seminal storytelling. The Silver Surfer does not have
vagina.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm all I'm saying is I don't.
We're building this up, and it's like one sentence, guys.
Right? I know. No, well, I got a lot more actually, Gary. I don't know if I should tell you what I got.
I got one sentence.
I'm just saying. It blew my mind as a kid. It made me like I was already a fan of Fantastic Four, and take these characters I loved, put him in this story, like. It blew my mind. So you're right. It is one of the greatest comic book stories in comic book form ever done. It's also peak Kirby, right? Like those squared off like fingers, there's sort of Kirbyisms that I love. Whenever there's like energy beams and there's little globules and I mean his style is so
Kirby Crackle, dude. The closest thing we've ever seen to Kirby Crackle, I got to give it up to, I can't give it up to Taika Waititi. It was probably the effects department. But when Hela shows up for the first time in Ragnarok, it's Kirby Crackle around her.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've really seen it.
But God, that's why Eternals is such a colossal disappointment.
Oh, I know.
If they leaned in, if they just make it like Kirby, make it goofy and comic looking, and then this epic regal tale, like that would be amazing. And Eternals is probably the worst thing.
That's what Marvel has lost. They've lost earnestness. They've lost the tone of seriousness because it's just goofy fucking Marvel. There's no Marvel fucking humor in Daredevil. Like none.
No, there's nothing.
Zero.
Quippy. Nothing.
Fucking zero.
No quips. Great. It's quip free. Anyways.
All right. Now that we build this up, you're going to be really disappointed.
I got a lot. I had a whole conversation, Gary. So
yeah. Okay. So mine was saw Fantastic Four today. Highest compliment I can give. It stops being a superhero movie and becomes a science fiction movie. And I mean that in a very good way.
Okay. I asked about Pedro.
And
Pedro is also very good. And I asked about the stretching effects. Are they goofy or cool? Too early to tell, but the use of everybody's powers are very creative.
well,
That's the
okay.
cool thing about the FF. They have these goofy powers and the way they use them, you know? And I'm curious how they will handle Human Torch, because I remember the cartoon when I was a kid and they replaced Johnny Storm with Herbie, who's now like the family dog, which
Yeah.
is actually kind of a good idea. That's fine. But like they were afraid kids would light themselves on fire. My prediction is they will address something about safety and fire, so kids are not inspired to light themselves.
Oh boy.
No, this is my personal, I have no inside knowledge. This is
No,
just,
I can believe it.
it's a very Disney thing.
Well,
Also,
they
by
kept
the way,
Human Torch out of the animated series. That's why, we got Herbie the robot.
right. That's where
in
that
the
came
80s.
from. And I was like, where's
God, I hated that.
Johnny Storm? Anyways, but I love the 60s animated show.
Yes.
With
Well, the
Human
90s
Torch.
animated show's really good too. You know what one of the better animated shows from the 90s is? The Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
That one's fucking great.
But-
With Norn Rad, a dude.
So this is, when you see a rough cut of something, it's not finished. It's, rough effects, storyboards,
Yeah. So, with
We'll see.
Mr. Fantastic's powers, they need to do what they did in The Incredibles with Elastigirl. Like, that's how you do it.
And it needs to have a sound effect that accompanies it. All the cartoons had a really cool, like kind of a bassy rubber band, And I remember, do you remember we're getting super nerdy. Apologies, people. I loved whenever they would do like an encyclopedia of Marvel comics and they'd have the stats. How tall is Reed Richards? What are the powers? The one thing I remember is he could stretch as far as a football field, but then it got dicey after that.
Mhm.
So, and they would actually define like how tall.
Well, I have my binders. I have my binders.
That's
I
what
have
it
my
was.
binders full of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe because they did
Yes,
the comic
that's
books,
it.
which I have all the comic books, but they also released you can get a stack
of the pages.
like a technical manual, and there was binders that went with it.
That would end arguments. Well, let's see. The thing can lift.
Yeah.
I love that. I love they thought that deeply. And that's the problem with, modern superhero shit. They introduce people. Not like you need an origin for every character, but we need to know what the effort they do. That's why Captain America is so bad. I don't know what Sam Wilson, what he's got all these. How did he get this way? He was a guy who was a fancy glider,
Right.
And who was a great sidekick. But like, that's why Cap doesn't work. It's not believable. We don't know what
don't know who he is. Don't know what he's about. He was just handed the shield because he was black.
Yeah. Sorry to say.
Got to go a little deeper than that.
Yeah.
So sorry. Hey, we have a trailer to react. Well, hang on.
Oh, I was going to bring that up.
I want to show off one of these binders real quick. So hold the fort for 2
Oh,
seconds.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So these binders are what he's referring to. They released them as original comics, and it was every single Marvel character, A to Z. It was like almost like all the stats, almost like an expanded baseball cards in a way. Expanded baseball cards with stats of every character in terms of yes. Oh, got it. Oh, this is great.
A little dusty.
I have them as individual issues. Did you ever pick up the history of the Marvel Universe?
Yes.
Those were great. I still have.
So they have
them.
turnarounds, right?
Oh,
So you got your turnaround, and then on the back, that's magma. You got your stats.
Yeah.
You got your stats right here, and there's Magneto.
Oh, I love this. It's like a thing that like shouldn't like the people that are writing the movies, shouldn't they have that binder?
They should. Current occupation, revolutionary. Former occupation, teacher at the New Mutants. Would-be conqueror, secret agent. Citizenship, unrevealed. Legal status, criminal record in the U.S. Place of birth, unrevealed. Probably somewhere in Northern Europe. Marital status, widower. Known relatives, Magda, wife. Presumed deceased. Anya, daughter, deceased. Wanda Maximoff, alias the Scarlet Witch, daughter. Pietro Maximoff, alias Quicksilver, son. Crystal, daughter-in-law. Luna, granddaughter. Known confidence, currently none. Formerly Charles Xavier. You know, it goes powers and ability, physical attributes, everything. And I've got 4 binders. And this is all from like the 80s.
Oh God, I loved those.
Great.
They were great. They were great. And it just seems like I feel like there needs to be a refresher of the writers at Marvel to like look at that so they get it. You can't assume knowledge, or just that's why Captain America, we're not buying it. That movie, I don't even know where it's at box office wise, but it's a bomb, right? It's
a bomb. Like after all that, it's been really quiet because it's a flop. It's a bomb. It's not going to make its money back. We knew this. Marvel knew this. That's why they floated out that $180 million budget, which is utter bullshit. But now, even with those numbers and the 425 break even, which in my video I showed you how that's bullshit, they're not going to make their money back.
Yeah.
So sorry.
And it diminishes the brand.
Yes.
Further, you know,
it does exactly what's happening to the DCU. Those 6 flops in a row, that diminishes what's going to happen to Superman. That diminishes the excitement for Superman, no matter how good it is. We saw a great example of that with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, when it opened up to about a $100 million opening weekend. That was 3-day weekend, so it wasn't a 4-day one. But that was low. And what happened was good word of mouth got out, and then it picked up for, let's call it what it is, a 7 out of 10 movie at best. Some people hate it, and they have every right to, because what they did to Warlock, and it was fucking retarded. But it got to 800,000, I think, in worldwide. The thing is, it could have made $1 billion and should have made $1 billion, but the bad movies before it affected it. It certainly affected it, that first weekend box office, and kept it from hitting $1 billion, which it could have done. All right, this is a major show coming up on Prime Video
in April.
I
sent you an email about it. I knew about this a month ago, and during Daily, the trailer dropped. I immediately sent it to Jeremy, and he reacted to it. So this could be the next Santa Inc. Who knows? You want to give us a little background on this show before we show it? It's called Number One Happy Family USA. Is that it? Yeah, that's the name. It is going to be the new Simpsons, or so they hope. I saw the trailer. I knew it was coming. Now I'll just say this. It only matters if it's funny. It only matters if it's funny. Well, I mean, it's got great potential. Do you think it's going to go to the places where it could be funny? I don't think so. And by the way, I want to preface this. Hey, that saves on animation though, right? Just having everybody covered. Yeah. I want to preface this. This is produced by A24, which is a studio that puts out a lot of indie movies. A24. And I'll also say this. I don't think this is propaganda at all. Okay. I just cast that thought out of your mind. This is not propaganda. I did share screen. Are you not seeing it? Hang on. Oh, I see it perfectly. Yeah. But are they not seeing it? Sometimes StreamYard screws up. The audience. Can you see it? Chatters. Show screen. Let me make sure I can share screen. Sharing screen. No, you can't. That's weird. Fucking hell. Do you want me to do it?
No,
Okay. Well, you
I'm
can't see it
determined.
on
Oh,
screen?
now I shared the screen and we're still over here.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're gone. What the hell's
What?
what's going on with StreamYards? Uh, wait. There. Fuck, we don't need Chris. There we go. We're professionals here. Now I'm going to try it again.
Yeah.
All right. Do you see it now?
I see it.
Oh no, it's definitely not up. Yeah, why don't you try it?
Do you want me to try it? Okay. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, bypass the compressor. Yeah, it's not showing up. That's so weird. Wait, you know what?
Weird.
StreamYards added a new feature.
Yes.
Watch this. We're still gonna be off to the side and we're not sharing anymore. So I got to go here.
Okay.
So StreamYard added a new feature and fuck their system up. So you can do scenes now like you do in OBS. It's in beta, but it's clearly jacked up everything. All right, now do you see it now?
Do you see it now?
Where's the X-ray girl? She's on a plane. She's on a plane.
Typical.
Back to
Canada Stan.
Canada stand.
Wherever that is.
Holy crap. They can't see it.
They can't see it?
No. It's still not up.
That sucks.
What the hell? Well, that sucks. I
mean, you and I can see it. What's weird.
We can see it, but if the audience can't see it, then that sucks that we can't do it.
Yeah. Well,
no.
you got to do it on FNT, please. FNT.
Oh, we will. We will.
I'm curious. Can you look at it? What is the ratio?
Garrett, if you're out there, can you screen record it and send it to me? Garrett, wake up. We need you. Well, let's read that Dave Poland thing. Do you subscribe to him? Because I could only read part of it of what you sent me.
I don't, but I have a way to get around it. The first part is what matters.
Okay.
He's laying out how the industry is crumbling and has to change or die.
Oh, yeah, I got probably another video. I mean, I'm doing my Daredevil review first, and I have another video coming out Monday concerning the culture war, right? Because I mean, pretty much the Oscars were Hollywood waving the flag about the culture war. There was no mention of Trump by name. They alluded to him about 2 times, maybe 2 or 3. The most political they got was talking about Palestine and Israel, whatever that documentary. The land acknowledgement was fucking cringe. But other than that, it was really boring, tame, and at least they were trying to be funny in a normal way. Like Ben Stiller's whole thing with production design. That was, that's the kind of stuff they need to do more of, right? I'm not saying it was like the funniest thing I've ever seen, but that's the kind of thing they need to do more of. And people are now upset. The people you would expect, the activists in Hollywood are now upset that they didn't get political enough at the Oscars. And quite frankly, and I said it yesterday, maybe they should have let the dude win Best Actress because more people would have watched just out of morbid curiosity. If Amelia Perez threw a monkey wrench into the Oscars, they went sideways because that thing was going to win. Chris, that thing was going to win. It was
to win.
Going to, I would dare say, almost sweep, without a doubt. And keep in mind that those tweets from Gascon, that dude, came out before they voted on. They had already got the nominees, but they hadn't voted on the nominees yet. So when those tweets came out, they hadn't voted on the nominees yet, and it absolutely affected it. I'm surprised it won 3, to be honest with you. I think,
right.
And Zoe Saldana, she didn't deserve it. She wasn't that great. The movie's terrible. She's not good at it. And I'd have to say the skeleton, Ariana Grande, should have won. From what I saw, she was better. And it would have been the first skeleton to win Best Supporting Actress, Chris. That would have been a first.
Yep. I would like to see
first.
that. That would have been definitely a first. Like the whole thing with first, I'm the first, that which happened twice during the show. It's getting irritating. So whatever.
It's getting irritating. So your guy on that article, I don't know if we could probably just have to read it because I don't know if we can share anything.
Yeah, it sucks. Where's X-Ray Girl?
Well, she's not going to be able to help. I think it's StreamYards. I'm going to try it again.
Okay. We can't. Look, we are two grumpy old men that are also nerds. We need help.
No, it's still not showing. Son of a bitch. I wonder if they'll be able to hear it just to show that we're not completely insane.
Yeah, let's try the audio.
Let's try the audio. Hang on.
Osarumi, I have a good feeling about this year. We will be happy. We will be perfect.
I love this country!
This September will be your best school year.
Can you hear it?
Can people hear it?
The audio is fine. They said, yeah, we can hear it. We just can't see it.
Hey, Gary, I don't have that extension. Can you see the dislikes on it?
Yeah, I can.
I'm curious where it's at. Actually,
currently it's at 155 down, 183 up. I just made it 156 down. It's 50-50, but it's got like 1,932 views.
Oh my God, the comments are out of control. This show is going to bomb.
Okay, yes, this show is going to bomb. Okay, so what it is, it's a Muslim Simpsons.
Yeah,
it's a Muslim Simpsons, and they're showing people getting beat up at an airport, and they're in the airport, and they're like, "It's not a very safe place for us right now." Ha ha ha. So I'll read some of the comments from here. I can do it over here.
Oh my
from
God.
Robert H. Diver. What the actual fuck was Amazon thinking? I just canceled my Amazon account after seeing this. From Phone Funk 7888. What the fuck? Okay, chat music, do your thing.
Oh, the chat is on fire.
Oh no, this show is going to be explosive.
Oh,
what the fuck is even this? Waste money much? This is
now let's do a Christian family in Iran.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
This is terrorific.
This is good. This is a great example of why we all wept when we heard Amazon got the rights to James Bond.
Yeah. Oh my God. This show, dude.
I'm calling Garrett.
Okay. Get Garrett on the case. We need Garrett. Oh, by the way, while you're doing that call, if I could speak to the audience. Last night I was at IMAX headquarters for an early screening of the movie Mickey 17.
Oh.
In fact, I DM'd you about it. I'm saving my review for Film Thread, but one thing that I was super disappointed about, Ruffalo is effing insufferable. He is Trump.
Yes, that's what I heard.
To the point where his fans, his followers, wear red hats and are portrayed as stupid and dumb for following this guy. Here's what I'll say, a little tease of what I'll talk about, which ties into what happened last night at the not State of the Union speech, which is the right understands the left more than the left understands itself, which is why the left cannot parody or do comedy about the right. They can't do it because to mock it, you need to understand it. And they're off base. And so this tries to mock Trump and Trump's followers, and he is portrayed as an asshole, narcissistic leader, but it's a parody of what the left thinks Trump is, not who he really is. And that's why it doesn't work. And Mickey 17 ultimately fails. It's all on the shoulders of Mark Ruffalo. Robert Pattinson is amazing. He plays multiple versions of himself, and they're slightly different. I won't give too much away. And that story alone was great. It's bloated over 2 hours, 15 minutes. If it was under 2 hours, tight, I would have cut down on the Ruffalo character. But it's a movie ruined by current day thinking in the end, and a great concept for a sci-fi movie that does not pay off. And the greatest question, what does it feel like to die, is never answered.
Oh,
so ultimately, I didn't like Mickey 17, but in spite of that, Robert Pattinson, amazing. He's so good. And the rest of the movie is all over the place. And his girlfriend in the movie, she's not hot. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like, I don't think she's hot.
you don't like ugly women.
She's not my type, and it's not because she's not white. She's just not my type. Okay.
I don't believe
But it really gets into a total white supremacy subplot thing that is so not, like I said, it's a portrayal of a parody of what the left thinks Trump is.
Yeah.
That is, if you're paying attention, is completely inaccurate. Anyways,
I've got Perry on the job, so we are going to react to this.
good.
as long as it shows. I'm going to try to embed the video. So if we can embed the video,
Yeah,
maybe it'll work. Not sure.
yeah.
Um,
You can share a video. You can share a video file. Have you done that?
yeah, that's what I'm having Perry screen record it right now for us.
Okay.
But I wanted to go to that article real quick, and we'll just read it to you. This is David Poland, the hot
Yes.
button. Okay. And well, I don't know. Let's try to share an article, shall we? Let's see if
What
that works.
happens? Is there like a blank space where the article is?
Yeah, so there's something going on with StreamYard to where like we can see it, but the audience can't. Not really sure what that's about.
That's gonna like ruin my show today. How do you
All right, can you see that? This is so shit. This is so terrible. Let's see if I can see it.
I can see it.
I know you can see it. Nope. Now, not
Well,
that I
what
don't
do
trust,
we look like?
not that I don't trust you, Chad. But yeah, it's not showing anything. It's not allowing to share anything. And it has everything to do with them messing with their system, and they have some demo scene. Hang on. Can I get rid of this shit? Yeah, they fuck something up.
It's weird. I went to our video live and there's just blank.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. All right. Let's try. Hang on.
hopefully they fix by Friday. You got FNT to do.
No, it's not showing. All right, we'll just read it to you. All right, so industry tipping point, part 1. What's wrong? Now, this will be a great place to use one of the most overused analogies of all time is rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. But I think you could just name it now like trying to fix Hollywood after the strikes. It's like kind of, it's going to be kind of impossible.
Right.
Not totally, but close. this is one of those pieces I really don't want. And by the way, give a little David Pullen. You've been subscribing to his Substack for a while.
David Pullen, I respect him greatly. Known him for years. He's very much a lefty, and we've gotten into some arguments, but I respect him. He's also pragmatic. He looks at the facts and he will lay it out, and he is not afraid to, just say, this is the truth. I looked at the numbers. He also often calls out people in the industry. And whenever I see him at screenings, we always have a pleasant conversation. He's but he's definitely lefty, but not dumb. He looks at the numbers and he's a guy saying, hey, problems, we got problems. So the fact that he's saying this stuff is meaningful. So yeah. And it's really about everything going on with theatrical festivals, award shows in general. In this article, he's talking about like how no one cares about award shows. Like, it's not just the Oscars, it's all award shows. And I almost feel like it's kind of like a type of sitcom they don't make anymore, is like that where there's a cheesy laugh track, and they don't make it anymore because people don't buy it, right? They just don't buy it. So they don't, people don't respond. Realize I look really orange. What is going on? Anyways, so I think it's the format that has killed it. So anyways,
All right.
That's the setup for the article.
That's Oh, Garrett's calling me back. Hey, we got it taken care of. We're good. It's all good. Okay, back to the show. Talk to you later. Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay. All right. So David Pullen, real quick. And then I think we have the video now. Hopefully it'll work.
Oh,
this is one of those pieces that I really don't want to be writing, but I can't seem to escape it. Awards events are in trouble. Independent film is in trouble. Festivals are in trouble. And like the legacy media companies faced with flipping their linear television businesses to streaming, these organizations seem unwilling to make the very much needed transition to whatever might be next, fearful of losing what they already have. Even if what they have is showing clear signs of serious and unrelenting shrinkage, ironically, what troubles a lot of areas that are having all kinds of troubles are also directly connected to progress in how the world engages with filmed entertainment. He says awards. The Oscars are not only an award show crapping the bed in terms of viewership. The Emmys haven't seen 10 million viewers since 2017. The Grammys, the number 2 to the Oscars, hasn't seen 20 million viewers since, again, 2017. The Golden Globes, whether a scummy nonprofit or a scummier for-profit, also last saw 20 million viewers in 2017. And the Oscars last saw 20 million viewers in 2020, 30 million in 2019, and 40 million in 2014. The media keeps obsessing on the trees of each season, but it's wrong in almost every way. They said, in spite of being led by some of the smartest, most clever film industry professionals alive today, the Academy also loses perspective, trying the same things over and over and expecting different results. Insanity. But more important, failure. It's failure, Chris. It's failure. Yeah. In the 8 years since 2017, the last sign of robust health for these award shows, cable subscriptions in America have gone from 96.3 million to 68.7 million. That still seems high. That's 30% drop, steep. But the viewership for Oscars, for instance, has dropped 40%, even using what I believe, it's nice to hear this from somebody else, to be inflated figures for Sunday night show. Grammys are off 41%. Emmys, based on that last oddly timed show, are off by more than half. So trying to blame cord cutting is to offer one factor, but not a significant one to be for the primary narrative. I hate a lot of suggestions that wannabe know-it-alls offer for the fix for the Oscars. But this is what we know. They put on a very similar show year after year, more than 7 weeks after the end of the year, in a film they already allegedly celebrating, following 3 other televised and minimally watched outside of the industry movie award shows. And they focus on a comedic host, music performances, and very rarely the movies that are nominated, unless it is one of the highest grossers, because they imagine that will somehow boost the ratings. The same formula over and over again. And while we can try to figure out what the hell went wrong in the last 5 years with the same results at the 5-year mark, and really at the 10-year mark, and then the 15-year mark, we live in a 24/7, 365 world now. For better, for worse, it's not going away. But I have to say, the Academy Award Board of Governors, they are much more likely to be praying that Netflix or Apple will come along and pay them to keep doing their Oscar show exactly the same way they've done it for decades, less concerned about ratings and earning back some money than owning the #1 non-sports television event of each year. Don't innovate, replicate. So I actually believe strongly that the aloof nature of the Oscars is an important part of the brand. So I'm not looking for them to turn it into a game show or something. I think they should turn it into a roast.
Right. Yeah. If they did a roast with Ricky Gervais, they need to show, because celebrities as a thing, you've talked about it ad infinitum, is not trusted. The results of the election prove no one likes your opinions. No one wants to hear from you. Entertain us and go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, like, he goes into the fixes, and it's an old model. It's a tired old model. And he even mentions there's 3 other award shows that are the same fucking thing, and no, they aren't watched as much, but it's just self-congratulatory. They're not making good films right now, and they've alienated half the fucking country. Like, you can't, like, they never bring that up. You've alienated half the country, where people like, are they even still on? I don't even care. I don't give a shit about the Oscars. And that's good. And then, but he does bring up, like, trying to think about change 5 years after this, little late.
Yeah.
A little late.
And by the way, the other 2 things, they already want Conan for next year, because he didn't ruin the show, and he made it better in many ways. It probably showed how bad Jimmy Kimmel was, how unlikable and terrible of a host Kimmel was. Secondly, they're already teasing they want to sell the Oscars to Netflix or a streamer. It wouldn't even be like, they're already saying they've got a contract.
And Netflix will probably take them. Like, one of them will, because they really want to get into live programming.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it again. What?
Are you sharing a video file?
Osarumi.
Oh.
Hang on. I'm going to
back it up.
I'm going to wait and see.
What does the chat say? Wait, I should look.
Oh, I can see it. Ah,
yeah!
We did it. We did it.
That's it. We did it.
We did it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's watch this. It's a trailer for
#1. Yeah, a family animated show, fun and whimsical, not propaganda at all. #1 happy family.
Osarumi, I have a good feeling about this year. We will be happy. We will be perfect.
I love this country!
This September will be your best school year ever.
This is 9/11. It's right before 9/11.
Where is this set? In Hamtramck, Michigan?
No, it's New Jersey. They said 2001. It's September, and they're like, this is gonna be the best year ever.
Okay, it's not a good time to be at the airport when you look like us.
Okay.
Oh,
Rami Youssef, is that a comedian?
I think so. Youssef. Oh, I did.
I just looked him up. He's the comedian.
Yeah. While I was looking it up, I just stopped caring.
Right. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh God. All right.
All right. So yeah.
Class, today we're going to be studying a new subject. Terrorism. This will replace math. You hate math!
Terrible month, Yarumi. Look where you are on the cousin leaderboard. Be more like Kareem, then maybe we get you new clothes every year.
Look at the armpit hair. The armpit hair on him.
Hey, folks, I'm Dan, your new neighbor, and I'll help ya.
Investigation.
Why are we worried? We didn't commit any crimes.
Why are they making this?
Yeah.
It's not even topical. You were talking about post 9/11 25 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a time for us to be ourselves.
I want to make a comment now.
Yeah.
This is a time to be ourselves. I want you to look at that image right there. This is a time to be yourself. Be an independent woman. Be an independent thinker. Dress like you want. Do what you want.
Being ourselves will get us in a Supermax prison for life.
Being yourself in public is a very white thing to be able to do.
It's a very white thing to do, is to be yourself in public. It's very white.
Explain that to me. I need that explained to me.
It's our privilege.
It's our
again.
privilege to be ourselves
Yes.
because of our skin color. That's some racist shit. That's some racist shit.
You need to learn how to code switch ASAP.
Shame those vicious kebabbers killing our people.
Totally knew you were one of the good ones.
USA, USA, hello everybody, USA. We must work harder at being like them. Tonight, we wear shoes in the house. These will never leave my feet.
Okay. I don't wear shoes in the house.
Yeah.
Do you?
Same.
I don't.
Again.
None of us know what we're doing. We're all insecure and scared all the time. But I think it's just about showing compassion.
That's so boring. I want to die even more than I already do.
What happens to the sheep? I don't want to know.
Grandma, I thought you didn't know how to drive. Let's do it.
No, she wasn't allowed to drive. Get it right.
We will change everything about who we are to fit in. We are #1 happy family USA.
Wow. Yeah, that's Santa Inc. 2.0.
That's
100%.
When I sent you more info. I don't try not to bombard you with emails, Gary, but I
You
did
can
send
bombard me. It's fine.
I sent you an email about this like a month ago, and I was like,
Yep.
I got a sneaking suspicion this is going to be kind of, we'll see. But it's
Santa Inc. and Velma kind of rolled up into one.
Yeah, with armpit hair. So
Armpit hair.
I oh god. You know what? I'll have to watch the first episode. Look, I don't care if it's funny. If it's funny, there's nothing funny about it.
I didn't see anything funny. Did you?
It really is, and it's the story of this comedian's memories of being a kid during 9/11. Rami Youssef, who I've never heard of.
Great.
I'm here. The comments are out of control on YouTube, and
They're
sure.
great.
Is it ratioed already?
It was close. Here, I'll go back and check it.
Yeah.
I'll go back and check it. Where was I? I was trying to pull something else up. #1 happy family. Boop, 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 boop. Let's go. Number one, happy
Oh no.
Family USA. It is at time of recording. It is 12:40 p.m. Central Time here in Texas, the great state of Texas, and it is officially ratioed, ladies and gentlemen. It has 2,300 views in 2 hours. It has 191 likes and 271 dislikes. And I'm thinking that's going to go a little higher.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's going to go a little higher.
Wow. Oh my God.
All right. Let's get the soups.
Yeah.
Soups. Hey, but we did it. It took us half a show to figure out a way to share something on a admittedly, I don't pay a lot for StreamYards. I think it's like what, $50 a year, $100 a year, something like that. But it's too fucking much now when nothing works.
I pay the annual fee, so I
think it's like 150 a year, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. No, it's actually more. It's more like 500. I get the pro version. 500 for.
Is that how much I'm paying? No. Well,
wait,
my wife handles all that shit. So
can we share screen again or no?
Dude, if we're paying that much, then like they used to answer like before they sold. If you had a problem with them, they would answer you right away, and they don't fucking answer now, like at all.
I put a link in the private chat. Daredevil Born Again figure from Hasbro already on pre-sale.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Just to let you know. FYI.
That's cool. $24.99. There you go. I'll wait for the 1/6 scale, Chris. I already have one. I already have one.
Of course.
I have a Kingpin, but that's awesome. All right, let's read some super dupers. Super dupers. Just a reminder, you can hang on to the link. This show gets unlisted, then it gets re-uploaded on Nerdrotic Live. Nerdrotic Live. We're gonna start doing that with all shows except for FNT again. We're gonna start doing that again starting next week.
Sweet.
So Real BBC will go over there in the future. Imagine Moon Knight was made like Daredevil was. Dude, seriously, my biggest disappointment is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is terrible. It's terrible. It's a great concept that they completely botched. 70s Rock fan says, "Hail all, what's up, brother? What's up, brother?" See a 98 for $4.99. First time watching. Genuinely surprised you like Born Again, given what happened in the opening 10 minutes. I am surprised I liked it too. It's probably because I knew. So I had warning it was coming. That probably helped. But I will say, we'll see how it plays out because Foggy will be missed. There'll be a giant gaping hole left by that character being gone, for sure. Yeah. You are a second late, so you're still late and gay, says Daniel Todd. Cheers. Dave Cullen made a video saying Akiva Goldman, oh boy, plans to reboot all of Irwin Allen's TV series Voyage, Land of the Giants, Lost in Space, and Time Tunnel. Any thoughts? They will all suck because Akiva Goldsman sucks. He sucks at genre. He's won a couple Academy Awards, but he sucks at genre. And I'd say the only genre thing that he's been involved in that he did do Lost in Space, the movie, which wasn't very good. Okay. He did Constantine. He was involved in Constantine. So that I'll give him credit for that. But other than that, he sucks. Strange New Worlds sucks. Star Trek Discovery sucks. He wrote for Picard. That sucked. I think he's a fraud. But hail Dave Cullen. We love Dave Cullen. Anvec for $5. They thought their paddles, they bought their paddles in bulk, like the protest props. Also, Gary, I have a paddle. Sounds more like one of Chrissy's jokes. There you go. But I do have one. Matthew Hammond, Democrats were upset that the kids survived cancer. Democrats were upset that they missed out on a campaign contributions from the abortion. Yeesh. Matthew, coming in hard. These Democrats are spoilt brats, says Benjamin BC for West. Yes. Daredevil, they meant depressed, cynical, dumb fuck. Our country will be woke no longer. God bless Trump. I would love to say that. Woke ain't gonna go down so easy. Our friend George Molo has the woke monologues. Go check out his video. It's really,
I saw
really
it.
good.
It was good.
It's really good. I'm just gonna say they took a beating last year, but they ain't gone. It all depends. It all depends. If the corporation's backing out in DEI, that's huge, but they're going to regroup. So, I mean, this is a battle that will probably go on our entire lives, but it would be nice to be on the winning side, which is the majority of people want to be left alone. The majority of Americans, one of the foundations of being an American is don't tell me what to do. I won't tell you what to do. Don't tell me what to do. And then there's on the fringes, there's a bunch of fucking hall monitors who want to tell us what to do all the time. Mostly we just want to be left the fuck alone. That's Generation X. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. I'll be fine. I can handle things myself. But no. A poll to spoil. Yeah, we missed that. Sorry, Daniel. But we did put up the spoiler. Margie M, thank you for the super sticker. The Willie Bot's been a member for 32 months. Chris, you originally compared She-Hulk to Mary Tyler Moore. What old TV show do you equate this show to?
Like an old, like courtroom show, like one that's serious.
Perry Mason.
Well, not that old, but maybe like one from the 80s or 90s, LA Law,
Okay.
but not funny. I mean, there's very little humor in it. I mean, which is good for me.
Yeah.
So the tone just works. It works. It's the courtroom show that She-Hulk could have been, but it was just goofy and dumb.
Yep. Epic Mike already had a great rant destroying the show with all the spoilers. DEI and Trump allegory is all I needed to know to hard pass and save my money on D+. Well, nobody said to sub the D+. Nobody said that. Sub, just give it to you. Thanks. I appreciate it. The Trump allegory, I think, is being a little overblown right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, we've seen this before, you know, villains becoming the mayor, Lex Luthor, Penguin.
Yeah. It's
right?
from
We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Yeah. We've seen it. It's from the fucking comics before Trump was in office, before anybody thought he was a serious contender.
Not everything is about Trump, but I'll tell you this, Mickey 17 is 100%, but it's a parody of Trump that isn't real. That's what comedy is based on truth. When something rings true, it's funny, which is why the left has such a hard time making fun of the right. That's why the left looked so ridiculous last night, especially they're mocking. They could not even get behind a 13-year-old boy who survived brain cancer after 13 surgeries, wants to grow up to be a cop, and Trump made him an honorary Secret Service agent. They couldn't even get behind that. They can't. That's why they looked dumb with the paddles and this disruptive. Fix the problems we sent you there to fix. That's your job. That's why most of the country is not behind you. Even issues with the male athletes in women's sports, that's a losing issue. 80% of the public is behind getting out of men beating women at sports. It's common sense. They have lost the plot. And that's why, you know, when there is a pair, you'll see in Mickey 17. In Mickey 17, it's like none of it was funny. And I saw it with an audience of believers, right? Not funny. It's not funny because it's not who Trump really is. And so it needs to ring true to be funny. And the left cannot even be honest with themselves, which is why they're unable to be funny or to satire things. That's why TV shows and movies, when they try to do it, it doesn't work. It's like I was groaning through most, and it's like a good movie that's in there. There's a good movie that's in there that's science fiction and personal and based on Robert Pattinson, but it is destroyed by this Trump thing. And Ruffalo is awful. He's just awful.
Mhm.
So, anyways, sorry, Gary, a rant.
It's all good.
I need
I
coffee.
can,
No, it's all good.
I've had 2 cups already.
I'm good.
I can completely understand people being pissed about Foggy though. That's going to be a very divisive decision. I'm just going to say he's probably going to come back. So he's probably going to come back. It's accomplished.
And also not unprecedented for a character, especially in comics. Characters die, they come back. Nobody's ever really gone.
Yeah, it's a comic book show. Come on.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm gonna get
Bullseye.
coffee.
Bullseye
Right
survives getting thrown off a fucking building. I thought the scene was good, but I knew it was going to piss people off. But I
can hear you.
At this point, I disagree with the Trump allegory. If it's putting a flag on a politician and having him win mayor and being somewhat populist, like they've done that stuff in comics before Trump. Okay, so, but my criticisms of it are there's side characters you don't fucking need and don't add anything to it, and they are not, I repeat, 100% not better replacements for Foggy. They're much worse. It's a giant step back. What carries it is Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and also that it's very serious in tone. Like it's not a fucking joke. And the dialogue is not as sharp as it is in the Netflix series. But guess we're also treating Disney Marvel like they're on fucking training wheels too. You got to keep that in mind. The bar is so low for that. But I love Epic Mike. I missed that one. Sorry. See a for $9.99 question for Chris. Is Punisher only in the final 2 episodes, or does he have more? Also, do the new characters improve in any way? Well, you see the Punisher's logo in the 2nd episode in some form or another. In some form or another. I'll just say that. So and he's mentioned too. Not sure when he shows up. Doesn't show up in the first 2 episodes. But I will say the new characters thus far have a couple of them don't make things worse. One of them does. One of them for sure does. And I will be sick of this character if we get too much of this character. And I'm mentioning Echo. That was fucking bad. Here we go. PK for €2. Greetings. Did you do Reacher season 3 episode 4 with Ryan? No, we skipped it last week, and we're gonna do the next. We're gonna do 4 and 5 on Thursday night. We're doing 4 and 5 on Nerdrotic Live. We're doing it live. Sandman 10, a Born Again is too little too late. I trust y'all's opinion, but I couldn't care less about the MCU, and that's the question I have. Is even like, is this, somebody brought this up? It wasn't me. I can't remember who it was. Is this going to be like an Andor? Like, okay, you did something good, but it's a little too late. Well, if that's the case, then that is superhero fatigue. That is Marvel fatigue. That is Disney Marvel fatigue. Because they did make something that not everybody's going to like, but we'll say more people are going to like it than your average Disney Plus show. Going to say that. But I do not recommend you subscribe to Disney Plus in any way, shape, or form. You, as an adult, you figure it out. I know you can. Talk about Foggy. It's already out there. We did. Horses are fake. I read that one. Recovering. Oh, I read that one too. We, the League of Evil Garys, will defeat you, Gary. Gary from the League of Evil Garys. You will not. The Council of Garys. 200 watt studio. Is this current day or after the? I read that one already. Sorry, 200 watt. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, it feels like current day again. Don't fucking know though. It's after Echo, whenever that was. It was announced today that both Foggy and Karen are returning in season 2. Yes. Dick sucking film put that out, who blocked me for some reason. Well-read comics for $5. Fascinating to hear your takes on Daredevil Born Again. I posted a vid and found it pedestrian and mid, not impressive so far. There you go. Hey Gary, wanted to say looking forward to the meetup in Vegas next month. Can't wait to meet everyone. Hail the fellowship. Looking forward to it too. That's next. Is it next? It's next month. Holy shit. It's coming up. Thanks for the $9.99. Thoughts on Daredevil episode 2 final fight. Too many cuts. I thought the final fight was fine. There is a lot of cuts in it though, but it didn't bother me. As long as it wasn't shaky cam. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. But I thought it was like 7 out of 10. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I liked it. I think it's a good start. We, the League of Evil Garys, would have featured again, Communist Gary from the Evil League of, oh shit, look at that hat. I will not be defeated. Froggy is a skull or Foggy is a scroll. God.
That would be terrible. Wow. That I could see them doing that, Gary. I could see them doing that. Also,
they did it with Elektra. They did it with Elektra in the comics.
Also, by the way, Raven Black Sparrow is with 2 women. He's definitely a baller, I see. So shout out to him.
Shout out.
Froggy's a Skrull.
Shout out.
Anything can happen. Maybe it comes together. Everyone's a Skrull. There you go.
Yep. Hello from another timeline. It is still Conan that is it still Conan? I can't read. Is it still canon that Daredevil gets the She-Hulk pussy? Hail to the fellowship. I'm selling my bird for Schlurpo. No mentions of She-Hulk.
Not one.
Nope. I think it might be because I think there's a scene where he walks in and there's his cows and you see the yellow cow at one point. Well-read comics for $5. I'm a remnant of the customer movement portion of CG. We're all the castaways now. Sorry about that. We're all the castaways.
I wish, Gary, I could share stuff. There are memes on X that are good.
About what?
About us. Oh my God. I can't. Can I?
You can try. Eric said something did pop up, but we'll see.
That's good.
I don't see anything right now.
Well,
there it pops up. All right. So do you see this?
Does anyone see that? Hello.
Hang on.
Hello.
Bueller.
I've got another one that's pretty good. No,
it doesn't come up.
Damn.
It says grumpy old streamers.
All right, I've got one more I'll show you. This is just
fucking StreamYards. Well, I mean, they can't see it. Yeah. Oh God.
That's awful. That's awful.
Just retweet it so people can see it because
okay. Oh my God.
It doesn't really help.
Yeah.
It doesn't really help. Damn it. Oh, well-read comics. Thank you for the $5. Fun with collecting for $1.99. Was it Betty Brandt doing BB reporting? That was BB Urich. That was his niece. And the arguments against Bullseye are unjust as he was experimented on in season 3. Yes. Yeah, we still need specifics, but not everything needs an answer right away. Have you forgotten how long form story works? Yes. Bullseye gets thrown off of a building and survives. But if you remember at the end of season 3, He gets because they're working on his spine, so he gets experimented on. And there ain't no way that prison's holding him, Nick Weiser. No way. I like the bullseye fight. I did. He was running out of gas at the end. Daredevil's beating the shit out of him. I liked it. Hey, Gary, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, Louisiana Comic-Con in Lafayette is this Saturday and Sunday. How far is Lafayette from me? Is that a day's drive? Lafayette. Yeah. I think I could get there in a day, but I might be working. Oh, shit. It went to a street. I'm like, it's not 13 minutes away. All right. Yeah, I could maybe. I got nobody here. Dohanma Walker is a new member. Welcome. I don't think, therefore I am, has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you very much. Sweet hell. 20. Jediah Ben for $4.99. So are they doing female Silver Surfer camel toe or body positivity moose knuckle? I'm gonna say moose knuckle. CGI or practical, all valid questions with Disney politics. I saw some of the concept art. We showed it yesterday. And it just looks Norrin Rad with boobs.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. I cannot pronounce that name, but thank you for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. Japanese Demon Lord, a beer, Lucifer for $5. It's nice to see something good come out of Disney for a change, though I still don't think they'll be able to save that sinking ship. Not with Daredevil, no. The MCU is a cinematic brand. Daredevil was a TV show. They should have done this 6 years ago. They should have done a lot of things, and they didn't. And the only reason we're getting it now is because it was an act of desperation. Let's not count that out. Melodic Method is a new member. Cheers. Act out the video for us, says Clyde Dashing. We should have. Des Roma for $1.99. Two old men who can't get it up. Probably make a new scene to share screen like OBS. That's probably what they want us to do. I probably could have put it in the scene and done that, but I'm not like, it's not really intuitive. It's not really intuitive. So I'll have to figure that out. WG. We saw it, Gary. You had it up. What did you see? Stop, WG. Thank you for the $10. Saren, 308 for $20. First super. All right. I showed my longtime comic fan dad some recent trailers, and he nearly quotes you on his opinions while never hearing what you say. Goes to show it's not just a critic's critique. Why can't Hollywood see the problem? Because they don't want to. They clearly don't want to. Tommy Perez, no relation to Amelia, is a new member. D-Ray for $1.99. The Nooner ran by boomers. That's a fact. Dark Hierophant has been a member for 3 months. Hold the award show for those on the Diddy Epstein list without them knowing and arrest them live on TV. Yes. It's a great idea.
Babylon
Chris Hansen.
Babylon B did a thing like that with Chris Hansen at the awards.
Yeah. Is that the voice of Fire Nation Man from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Fire Nation. Funny Coconut Adamatics for $5. Born Again, great fight scenes, but the Fisk is Trump message is so obvious.
It's the problem is because it's in your brain. You have to kind of separate. I feel like
yeah.
Trump is makes a lot of news these days. So you're thinking about it. I did not see them overtly do anything, but it's 100% present in Mickey 17. Like I said, all of his fans of this congressman are all wearing red hats. It's very on the nose. Penguin how do you tell a story about Penguin being mayor? You can't it's not always there.
Yeah, I like the only things they don't tell you is party. They tell you he's populist. That's it. But he's populist in the comics that came out before Trump. Now, where you want to get into the Trump allegory is we'll see how his character plays out, because that's where the allegory has to come in, not just in like in visuals. So from your perspective, the show is saying that Wilson Fisk is Trump. And I'm sure there's some people in Hollywood who absolutely believe that Trump has cut off people's heads and smashed theirs, because that rumor's out there in the story, by the way. In the story, they're like, yeah, that rumor of him taking somebody's head off, I kind of like it. I want to see it. You know, that's in those Boondock Saints things. He's still Wilson Fisk. So if he becomes a Trump allegory and it diminishes the character of Wilson Fisk, believe me, I'll be the first to tell you. Hope this changes soon. Same with Disney live action remakes. Yeesh. I wouldn't hold out any hope for live action remakes. We got Snow White just around the corner. But thank you for the $5 funny coconut.
Yeah, sorry, Gary.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, Gary, when are you going to watch RRR?
Oh, God.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today. John Duffine for $1.99. Thank you very much. Thank you for the donation. It's great seeing pro is lame propaganda. Pro is lame propaganda. I understood what you said there. $5 is a company store credit. I want to slap Rami Youssef with my old dirty shower flip-flops I left in Afghanistan. It says clank, clank, I'm a tank. There you go. Thomas for $10. The actions by the Democrats last night reminded me of the reaction of a hooded figures to Patrick McGoon's attempted speech in Fallout, the finale in The Prisoner. Great show. I'm poorly written. In my poorly written comment from yesterday, I was trying to say I want Cowboy Pool or Kid Pool from Deadpool Core to take out the Young Avengers. I'm fine with that. In the beginning of Daredevil, it's sad that 2025 CGI isn't as good as Starship Troopers from nearly 30 years ago. Yeah. That needed a couple of more passes through, in my opinion. Foggy equals Penub, the zombie friend from Idle Hands. Idle Hands. The guys, you guys think you could be friend with Emergency Awesome or Heavy Spoilers? Also, are you guys going to a bar that will be showing WrestleMania in Vegas? Well, WrestleMania won't be it's before WrestleMania, the meetup, but it is a bar that will be showing stuff, but it's before WrestleMania. It's before, so you can still go or not go or whatever. But what we usually do is our meetups during the week. We do them during the week because it's easier to get bars to like let us have their venue because we're cheap. And what I do is I go like, hey, we'll buy the first round of drinks, because a lot of places want to charge us and then charge you. So I say no. So what I do is I put the word out. It's like, hey, do you have a bar that can hold this many people, and you'll have probably one of your best nights, and just give us a place. And they do, and they're very cool about it. We've had like lots of generous offers, and it's very cool. And that way it keeps it free. And the first round, maybe two, are on us. Thanks, Gary, for never giving up. Cheers. As far as Emergency Awesome and Heavy Spoilers, I like Charlie. I watch his videos. I like Heavy Spoilers. Got nothing against him. Would they want to hang with us? That's the question.
Yeah, I was going to say, I watch a lot of other channels, and I get the feeling they probably wouldn't like me.
Yeah.
Like other channels.
Mm-hmm. That's the question. I would absolutely talk to them at any time. When will Kathleen Kennedy finally leave Lucasfilm? It will truly be when Kathleen Kennedy finally leaves Lucasfilm, it will truly be the end of an era. Will independent films start to dominate theaters? No. David Poland gets into it later in the article. The reason is no, is because there are plenty of independent films being made, Chris, but you know what the independent films need? I know you know the answer to this, but I'm asking this question for the audience. They need the tent poles to do well. They need market drivers.
Because that brings in other people. You're like, well, I've already seen Captain America. What's this other movie here? I heard it was good. So that it's, you know, it rises all ships. So they say, that old phrase. So yeah, an indie film was always an obscure, you know, fringe, you know, foreign films, LGBTQ films. Like that was always a thing, but it was never mainstream. It was never, ever mainstream. Fringe audience and good movies in there. But indie film was always small, and somehow they've elevated the values in indie films, they thinking it would go mainstream. It's why the movie, what's that gay movie that cost like $50 million?
Bros.
Bros, yeah. That movie is that's an indie movie that should have been made for under 10 million.
For 6 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Or 6 million.
Anora was made for $6 million.
Anora was fine. You know what? It should have never even, I'm sorry. And with all due respect to Sean Baker, who I think is a great filmmaker, he's an indie filmmaker, not a mainstream Hollywood filmmaker. That's why people are tuning out of the Oscars. That's why people are turned off to Hollywood and the Oscars. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, anyways.
No, look at the discourse around Daredevil. Disney Marvel's earned all of your ire, all of your skepticism, all of your, if I even see a sniff of a fucking Trump allegory or anything, I'm fucking out. Like, they've earned every bit of that.
Yeah.
They did it to themselves. It's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. And I don't want to make it sound like your fault. They fucking earned it. They have acted in every single thing. They have pushed fucking agenda, the message. They've assaulted your senses with this shit for so fucking long that even if you sense a whiff of it, you're like, I'm done. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And Hollywood will not, even Poland does not ever mention. And I would love to get some of these writers and just ask them individually, how come you never mention alienating half the country? Why do you never bring that up when you do your introspective or navel gazing? That's what it essentially is. When you do your autopsies on Hollywood and what bad a shape it's in, how come you never bring that up? Because it is a major factor. It's not something you have to be purposefully ignoring it. And if you're purposefully ignoring one of your biggest problems, you know, which is ignoring cancer the way to live longer? No, it's not.
Well, that's what David Poland is saying in that article. You know, it's like, you can't ignore this stuff. You've been ignoring plummeting ratings for years. Like,
and why are those ratings plummeting? Because you have pissed off half a country of potential subscribers, customers, viewers.
Yes.
Period. That's why your ratings are falling. You can talk about all the other paper cuts, and they're fucking paper cuts. But if you were making good stuff that was for the masses, which is what temp polls need to be.
Yes.
You wouldn't have this problem. You wouldn't, because when they do come out with a movie that's not filled with agenda, that's pretty good, people show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not an audience problem. It's a Hollywood problem. Always has been. Communist Gary from the League of Evil Garys for $2. We sabotage StreamYards, comrade. It's, oh God, you did get me. Seems LA doesn't respect its viewers. Will entertainment eventually get their shit together? It's like they're producing poor hamburger quality work. That's a pretty good analogy. Remember when McDonald's was good? Chris, we're old. So we remember when McDonald's had like actual hamburgers that didn't look like processed hamburger product.
Like fast food was actually good when I was growing up. It seemed like the ingredients were pure. Now they've added so much to it. People, they do those videos where they leave out a burger for 2 years and it never gets mold on it. It's
Yeah,
scary.
that ain't right.
Yeah.
Gary, what will it take for you to start reviewing anime? If so, please start with Solo Leveling, small amount of episodes. You'd love it. Small amount of episodes would help. Maybe eventually. I got to get to reviewing TV shows, and well, they got to release some shit for me to review,
Yeah.
you know, which they're finally starting to do. But there hasn't been a lot to review in the first couple of months of the year, for sure. Seems the chat wants you to review Gotham. Gotham, the show? I think I did. It's within live streams, like my early podcast. That wasn't live streams, it's early podcasts. We do. Gotham was silly. I never took it seriously, so I didn't like hate it. It was just a silly fucking show. Showed colleagues Amelia Perez Hospital song. They asked if it was dubbed parody. When I explained that it was real, one of them said he has to watch it, says Krug for 50 Swedish krona. He will regret it. He will regret. From penis to vagina. Best part of last night was watching Dollar Store Penguin getting kicked out. Hail. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, is Daredevil Born Again as good as Penguin? No.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought the same thing. Comparing Penguin to Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, I like Penguin better. It's smarter, it's more layered, nuanced. All the side characters are great. In Daredevil, the side characters weigh the show down.
Yep. And Knockmamon reviews and rants for $5. Hi, Gary. What's your opinion on certain fauna in the Mesozoic era? Specifically, what's your opinion on... Oh, you son of a bitch. Ornithorhynchus, or go for the second one.
I
Ornithorhynchus.
want to say ornithopter, but it's Ornithorhynchus.
Ornithorhynchus. Okay. What's the next one?
Oh my God. I can't.
Compsognathus. Because the G would be silent. I'm going to just say it is because it makes it easier to say.
I'm just
Compsognathus. Compsognathus.
Yeah, good try.
Son of a bitch. Jeremy's a homosexual man, by the way. Oh, well, that's just assumed. Fourth drawer down for $1.99. I know it's good to poop on Disney, but we have to be able to call something good when it's actually good. Otherwise, nothing will ever be good. Brian, if you think it's good, then say, like, it's all about just, you want to know the secret to our YouTube sauce, everybody? You want to know the secret? Being honest. There you go. You're welcome. I should make a whole video on that. I've got the secret to be a streamer in a YouTube. Get some blogging music in the background. This one secret will lead to your success. Tell the truth. Be honest. Some people might honestly not like it, and we respect that here. We respect that there. But I was told, Brian, we're an echo chamber. I was told we're an echo chamber. But no, I'm not. I would fucking rather quit than have to come out here and just bullshit you all and say, like, oh, fucking Daredevil was a woke piece of shit. It wasn't. Were there things in it I didn't like? Chris and I just discussed it for sure, but it didn't bring down the entire series. Have you seen Robotech? Still waiting for the end. Robotech. I've read Robotech. I have not seen it. I have read it in the comic store. Like Robotech a lot. So does Razor Fist. Will the old AMB movie rating ever return? Pazuzu for £2 British. Chris? Will the old A and B movie ever return?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, that's where your industry is in trouble. And I talked about this with music. You know, music still makes a lot of money. It does well, but as an industry, it's not prominent anymore. Why? Subgenres are when I don't want to call it an industry, but we'll say film, music had subgenres. There was so much talent going there. There was so much innovation happening in this art form that it was spawning out subgenres of subgenres, and things like B movies had a following. People wanted to go see these. People like Chris, the trauma could exist, you know, and it could have its own niche and have a crowd, and that doesn't exist anymore. Same with music. With music, we're just getting repeated genres now. We got kids making rock bands that sound like rock bands from before, but are they really moving anything forward and pushing it forward? No, they're just sounding like it did before. Even some of the bands I like there's a band out of LA that I like. It's got some skinny chick singing called Starcrawler. I think they're pretty good. I think Starcrawler's pretty good. But they're not doing anything like radically different. It just looks like a female Iggy Pop, but she does a good job. Like, it's a good band. It's a good band. Metal's still kicking ass because that's a genre that will never die. You know, metal, classical music, very close. But that's the problem Hollywood's facing now. Why does TV take so long with fewer episodes? Studios used to shoot, edit episodes, and put them on TV with 6-month turnaround with 20 to 22 episodes a year. I think a lot of it, Netflix, there's a lot of movie people making fucking TV shows now who don't know how to make fucking TV shows. And there's no excuse for it. Like, Taylor Sheridan is the one guy who's going to start flipping his shows around in under a year. 1923. No, Reacher came out in almost a year. That's incredible. So it was Reacher, not 1923, that came out just a year ago. I would like it if we started getting decent movies, maybe a new Aliens film that focused more on the exploration of space and background horror. Well, we're getting Alien Earth from Noah Hawley. Carl Anderson, member for 6 months. Much love to you, Gary, and thank you for all the work you do. Cheers. I hope to meet you next year at one of the meetups. Hail the Fellowship and the 199. I hope to meet you too, Carl. I'll be at MegaCon next year for sure. Forget about the Cringe Fest Happy Family Cringe Fest Happy Family USA. Watch and support a great animated cartoon, The Mr. Burger Show. I second that. I had the part 2 super chat from FNT. Part 1 was a member message. I was saying a producer picked up my dad and it's back for a streaming series. Oh, that's good. That's good. Matthew Hammond, review Stargate shows on Nerdrotic is Toxic. And I wanted, I should. And I wanted to send you the books if you want. They are dark thrillers regarding X-Files and Project Monarchs and further deep. 5 books, core reality. Sure. Don't know how soon I can get through them because I still, damn it, I got to write something for my book today. Melissa yelled at me. Chris.
Do you have a forward or like?
I need a forward and a dedication and acknowledgments.
Oh yeah, that sucks at the end to do that. Did you get someone famous to write the forward? Who's a fan?
You should write the forward.
I wrote something for the jacket.
Okay.
Like someone actually famous, like, you know.
I'd ask Jeremy, but he can't spell.
Right. Someone who can, like, you know, can read and write, but like maybe Ryan, and he writes it while he's at Taco Bell.
No, he should. Yes, he could write it with Taco Bell hot sauce.
And it gets all but no, what I'm thinking is there's someone prominent in the industry who would like it's like an endorsement, like someone not me, who everyone knows I'm already a fan,
I'll
but
think
like
about
someone surprising in the industry, like really someone like I don't know, like if I was doing what you did, I would want someone like a John Waters to write about like Film Threat or me or whatever. But like someone kind of unexpected to because it is like an endorsement. Shit, you should have been thinking about this like 6 months ago. Because now I want.
That's what my wife said.
Oh, she said that? Like,
yes,
you could get
here's the
someone
deal.
like.
I have to concentrate on this YouTube channel. It takes a lot of my concentration. And there's not much left.
Now
There's
I'm
not
like
much left.
I'm racking my brain. Who should chat? The chat's always right. What does chat say? Someone not in the fellowship, someone like kind of famous and respected, not Neil Gaiman.
I know no one. Yeah, Neil Gaiman.
Have Neil Gaiman write it. Nerdrotic and I don't always agree, but I will say, oh no,
I like poop.
Oh my God. There's a story that came in the Reporter. Oh my God.
What is it?
I'll find it while you read Soups.
Okay. Hey, Gary, have fought off reviewing wrestling with WWE on Netflix and now AEW pay-per-views on Amazon Prime and TV on HBO Max. Wrestling has never been more accessible. Would love a non-hardcore fan's take on it. I used to be a hardcore wrestling fan. I'm not since probably Attitude Era. Like after that, that's a long time ago, right? So, but I'm old school, man. I remember WrestleMania 1. I remember when they were doing stuff with MTV with Lou Albano and Cyndi Lauper and Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff. And I remember when the Macho Man was the #1 draft pick of the WWF at the time. Roddy Piper was my favorite. R.I.P. R.I.P. Macho Man too.
I don't think we can save stuff, but we can share stuff, but I put it in the private.
Is it a Hollywood Reporter article?
Yes.
What's it say?
It basically says that Neil Gaiman says WhatsApp messages prove former nanny's claims of rape are a sham. She's a fantasist. So
yes.
I guess WhatsApp messages prove his innocence.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Just saying.
Yeah. We'll find out. I really like God like getting into the details of that was
Alan just texted me. He says Troy Duffy should do it.
Oh.
Maybe that's a thing.
Maybe we get Troy Duffy to do it.
Maybe. I mean, I would float it by the audience. Who would be a good pick?
That would be cool. That'd be really cool. My dad was watching with me. I had to show him how great a reader you are. Son of a bitch. Said this earlier, but my 2 cents as a normie, if you or anyone fills a pothole in my hometown, you are not a villain. Oh, no, sir. You are, in fact, a freaking hero. Hashtag Team Fisk. Yes, there's a giant pothole that looked like superhero damage.
Yeah.
That he fills.
That was a cool scene. Cool scene.
But Trump.
That was maybe kind of where people get the Trump thing. It's like, he's just being real.
But it's not real. See, maybe that's where people might think the Trump allegory comes in.
Right.
The thing is, though, we all know that Fisk he's a criminal, and that's what his intentions are all along. But I think, no, like Wilson Fisk definitely wants like New York to be better off. He just wants to be in complete control of it and all the criminal organizations.
Right. There's an upcoming scene with kids singing to him that is it's cringe in all the best ways, where you're like, he's got to be thinking, why the F did I sign up for this? Children sing badly.
I think
to him, you'll love it.
That's
it's
great.
Good. It's good scene.
The thing is, though, if we want to use allegories, if we compare like modern New York to what it is now, it's kind of a bad allegory because Fisk would be a better mayor than what they have now.
He would be a better mayor.
Wilson Fisk would be a better fucking mayor.
Yeah.
Harry Saxon would be a better prime minister for the UK, the master, because he becomes the master in Doctor Who, becomes prime minister. Vote Saxon. He would be a better prime minister than Keir, fuck his face, I don't know his name. Sturmer. Not an echo chamber. This 60-year-old Doug Daredevil. Hail, Jesse. Hail. No, I think it's fun. This is normal. It's normal to have debates like this. Like a legit comic book fan, which I am, would be pissed at what happened in the first episode. And they should be. Yeah. They should be. And when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, fuck. But I've also read comics and I know that sometimes they come back. Sometimes they come back. But we'll see. We'll see. I might hate it by the end. I don't know. But I like it so far. You should do a stream with Jeremy Johns. He's become so honest. He's essentially had his version of the Star Wars theory turned. Yes. Jeremy Johns has always been honest. That's why he's like one of the holdovers from the Collider days, right? Like he's the one who's risen above because he wasn't a fucking fraud like everybody else was. Yeah. He was, again, that secret sauce. He's honest. He doesn't want to get involved in the culture wars. I met Jeremy at CinemaCon last year with Chris.
As I was having a stroke, that was very obvious.
That's another that you want to know the main reason I don't want to go to CinemaCon is because that was just a bad memory. I don't want. The good memory was hanging out with Jeremy and talking to him for a long time and just shooting the shit about YouTube and movies. And he's a nice guy. He's the guy you see on the video. He's a genuine, nice human being. So sub to Jeremy Johns. He's a good guy. Comics Dad is a new member. Radio Man 1017. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. 42. What's the question? God's last message to his creation, Chris. Do you remember what that was from Hitchhiker?
No.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, yeah.
Try the anime Gate, says Clink Clink. I'm the tank. Is it super long? If it's short, I will watch it. I'm already diving into One Piece, man. That is like so much, but I love it. Are we gonna get One Piece season 2 this year? I kind of assumed we would, but now I'm in question. I don't know. Saw a headline about Superman reshoot due to internal screenings. Have you all heard anything? Get Troy Duffy to write the forward. I rated M. I think you're right. And so is Alan Ing. I will hit him up immediately.
He'll also turn around quick.
Well, he's a writer. He's a professional writer.
That's what I'm saying. He'll like just based on emails he sent you.
Well, I'm dedicating the book to my dad. But my acknowledgments are going to be to like Chris for giving me the idea of the book, my wife for helping me with the book, and the fellowship. That's pretty much what it's going to be. Is I'm going to be thanking the fellowship. Okay. I heard that too. Chris, have you heard anything about Superman screenings?
No, I have not. So I think all that is Reddit stuff. Yeah. And as for pickups, they always do that. That's normal. To do like, oh, we need an insert or this or whatever.
Yeah,
but
James Gunn's not known for mass reshoots, but this might like I think there's a possibility, guys, that he might have bitten off more than he could chew. He is a movie director who's now a studio head.
I am very skittish because I've seen the marketing and how they're selling this. Did you see the promo they did with Shaq and Superman during NBA stuff? Like, the selling of Superman is not selling me on Superman. The goofy shot of David Cornsweet flying it doesn't look good. Like, the more they've shown, I'm getting nervous. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
the
getting
more
nervous.
I see, dude, it's been a bad rollout. Like,
It's a bad roll, and they make it about him. Did you see the Hush trailer for the comic? Let me find it.
Yeah.
You saw that where they walk out, the slow motion music. Like, this is what sometimes turns me off to certain YouTube channels where it becomes about the personality, not the content.
Not the
You know, where it's
content.
too much. Like,
Yeah.
personality, I do like it to a degree. If it overtakes and suddenly it's all about the personality,
them and their lore, and they start getting I'm like,
yeah,
that's what happens to morning radio a lot.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So a lot of morning radio back in the 90s, like Howard Stern when he was good, Opie and Anthony were really fucking good at this. Like, Howard had his lore. He had his lore, but he always stuck to cultural topics. Yeah, he'd get into ripping his crew a little bit. And there's a balance you have to do. And Opie and Anthony were fucking great at this too. But a bunch of morning shows, mostly it's just like lore from 3 fucking years ago that if you weren't listening, you have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be about like the stuff, the news, pop culture, or whatever sphere you're in, sports. That I totally agree. So James Gunn is on the variant cover of a Superman comic. He's at the beginning of Creature Commandos. It's like Stephen J. Cannell, you know.
And the puppy bowl. Did you see him do that thing with the puppy bowl? It's like the marketing of Superman is about him, not the story, not the.
Yeah.
Now, are they doing that because they're keeping things secret and they've got nothing, or
Feels
they want
like-
to?
It feels like some shit went to his head, bro.
I'm like watching it, going like, and to be clear, I like James and know him, and we follow each other on X. I knew him before he was famous. I met him in 1997, 98 at the St. Louis Film Festival. He was a trauma guy, a struggling screenwriter. And then he moved to LA, and then I met up with him. I helped his wife get her film into a film festival in Sonoma in early 2000s. Like, I've known the guy through stages. I knew him when he was a commentator. People probably forget this. He was a commentator on Attack of the Show. He would come in. He had just done the movie Super, which I loved. And he was debating, he was pitching Marvel to do Guardians. I knew him when he was this lowly. And he has, in my opinion, I think he's remained humble behind the scenes. But maybe the way they're selling this is because they don't want to show, they want to keep things on the download. But like, everything I've seen, I'm kind of getting turned off.
Well, they should be worried. It's going to be a steep hill to climb. They got they got an uphill battle. Okay. Well-read comics for $5 on the donation side says, fascinated to hear your takes on, you put this on the super chats too. Yeah. Fascinated to hear your takes on Daredevil Born Again. Post a video on it, found it mid and pedestrian. Mathilus for $5. Hi, Gary. Today is my 26th birthday. Well, congratulations. You're almost 30. You're still a teenager with rent.
That's the age I feel frozen at in my brain. 26.
Yeah.
I'm 26, maybe 27.
And I just want to thank you for all the great recommendations over the years. I'm also planning a trip to Texas and want to know if there's any places you recommend checking out. Hail. Where at? I've been in Texas for 3 years and I don't get out of my house very much, but there is a meteor crater, a small one, in Odessa. There's a mammoth museum in Waco. This is the kind of shit I like to go. There's a bunch of caverns you can go to, which are pretty amazing. Some somewhat close to me here in San Antonio. I would skip Austin completely unless you're going to go to the mothership to see a comedy show. Then I highly recommend it, but get the fuck out of that town as quick as you can because it smells like piss and homeless people. That's what it smells like. People will tell you go to Whataburger. I'm going to tell you to go to In-N-Out because it's better. Sorry, Texas. It just is. I like Whataburger though. It's good. What else is there to check out here that I know about? Not much. Oh, there's the Marfa lights. You can go check out those. Texans are getting so mad at me right now. There's the Alamo. I've kind of see it, even though I kind of live near it. But Texas has got a lot of shit. There's tons to do here. It's a great state. It's a state with a personality. It actually has a fucking state personality, Chris. Something don't. So like SoCal and NoCal are definitely different, and they do have their own distinct ways of doing things, but they're both the same. They're both mostly pretentious a-holes who think they're cooler than you, just in different ways.
Not my friend circle, but the majority of people here, I would agree.
Dude,
yes.
Like, okay. Like people in LA don't like tech bros. Tech bros don't respect people in LA. They're the same fucking thing. They're the same picture. They're the same fucking thing, but they hate each other.
Yep.
Giants fans, you ain't no different than Dodger fans. You're not. They fucking hate each other though. And you're the same thing. That's why you be a Padre fan. We're the best. We're the best.
I love that Petco Park. It's awesome.
Petco Park is awesome. Go Padres. Ethan is a new member. Welcome, Ethan. Epic Mike hates the first 2 episodes already. I'm sorry to hear that. I like him.
I like Epic Mike.
I like Epic Mike.
I don't have to like all his opinions. It's all good.
Here we go. No, fuck Epic Mike. He disagrees with me. Fuck that guy. I'm never going to talk to that piece of shit again because he disagrees with me on a TV show. Because he disagrees with me on one TV show. I'm never going to speak to that frizzy haired dude again. Just kidding. I love Epic Mike. You know, that's like hating somebody over a disagreement over a movie is I've already said it, it's as gay as 5 guys fucking 4 guys. It's super gay.
Not the yeah.
Anonymous for $100. Wow. Hail, Chris and Gary. I was 8 when the X-Files started, so I needed to rewatch it. The first season, I think, episode 15, there's a trans cult that almost grapes Scully and Mulder magic of one member goes on and grapes people and kills them afterwards. Just saying, dude, the X-Files is incredibly based in so many ways. There's a fucking vaccine episode. I'll just say COVID. There's a COVID episode. They cover all this shit. And the thing is, X-Files is a documentary now. X-Files is a documentary now. Sanctuary City mayors are getting dragged through the mud in Congress. This is good TV. That was pretty amazing. I caught most of it last night. I was too busy watching Daredevil, but I watched some of it afterwards. Quite good. Let me ask from The World Has Moved On for $10. Let me ask, will Mike Flanagan get the Dark Tower TV series right, or will he forget to face of his father? Well, considering what I've heard, how Stephen King ends the Dark Tower, but the first part, like, I like the beginning of it. It's probably the only thing I still like from King. I think Flanagan, if anybody's going to get it right, it will be him. I think it would be him. But the story ends like shit. So, oh well. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Am I right, ladies? Chris, we're out of here, baby.
Let's do it. You know, there's a George R.R. Martin penned movie coming out this Friday.
Yes.
In the Lost Lands. It's literally, I can't find it. I was looking for tickets. It's playing 2 screenings in Burbank. I'll have to see 2 movies back to back. But how weird. There's literally no fanfare about it.
It's probably absolute shit.
I'm sure it looks like garbage streaming crap.
It's like absolute shit.
Yeah, for sure. So cool. I have a live stream coming up with Alan in an hour and 15 minutes. So join us for Hollywood on the Rocks. And then I will be on Valiant Renegades podcast directly after Hollywood on the Rocks.
Cool.
To talk some interesting stuff.
Cool.
Exactly.
I'll be working on my Daredevil video.
Can't wait. I'll watch it. So hurry and finish.
I can't imagine it's gonna be. Well, yeah, I'm gonna hurry up with it. I can't imagine it being too long. It's just 2 episodes, but yeah, I'm gonna get going on that after I go to the gym, of course. Red X for $5 says, "Hello again. If I was to write a superhero show with a Superman-like character, should I have him be like a mentor or a protagonist? Take care." It's always good to have your main character be the protagonist and have him be mentored, and usually that mentor passes away at some point or gets taken out, or you could keep him in. What the fuck? I like mentors. You know, there you go. Have him trapped in, like, what happened in Excalibur to Merlin? He got trapped in was it amber or a tree? It's been a minute since I watched it. He got trapped in something. Got taken out for a little while. It's a fucking great movie, Excalibur. Great movie. Needs 4K. All right, Chris, thank you very much. Go watch, go subscribe to Film Threat. Thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thank you to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. This will be unlisted. Hang on to the link if you want to keep watching. Or you can rewatch it on the re-upload on Nerdrotic Live, or listen to it on your favorite podcasting site like Spotify and others. That'll be up in a couple hours or so. See you on FNT with Paul Chato. And we'll talk more about Daredevil because the whole crew has seen it. Maybe we'll have some mixed opinions about it. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Until next time, ciao.